Yep. It's time, y'all. Foundational Black Americans, Certified Black Society, Black Alpha Network in the building, in the place. They know what it is. We about to have us a campaign rally. We about to have us a campaign march. We about to represent for our candidate, which is the couch. It ain't about going red. It ain't about going blue. It ain't about Donald Trump. It ain't about Joe Biden, the Democrats, the Republicans, the liberals, the conservatives. It's all about us, foundational Black Americans. So, as I always say on this beautiful Tuesday, they got two choices, y'all. They can give it up or they can get it took. But right now, it's Couch for President 2024 and much more. Certified salute. Let's go to work.
That's our motto. We want freedom by any means necessary. Hell, I might be anywhere, but when I leave, you remember I said the last words on my lips, I am a revolutionary.
That part. What it do, family? Welcome back to the Black Alpha Network, y'all. You already know what time it is. You already know the season. They all know the season, and they know who they dealing with. They dealing with some certifieds, so we gonna keep it certified all the way across the board. Family, y'all already know that we dictate everything. We dominate everywhere we go. The whole earth wants to be like us. They want to look like us, talk like us, walk like us. Everybody knows that. But now we're in an era where you got all these other people trying to jump in on our business, trying to dictate to us what goes on, and it don't work that way. It's certified foundational Black Americans all the way across the board. We are, just like Muhammad Ali said, the greatest of all time, and we're going to continue that way. So in this election season, some other people, they got their candidates, and we got our candidate. See, the only thing that we going red for is my red couch. The only thing we going blue for is my blue couch. They don't want to give us reparations. They not getting no vote. They don't want to give us tangibles. They not getting our vote. That's what it is, and we sticking to it. So in this episode, we're going to regulate all the tap dancers, all the butter biscuit chasers, the banjos, the coons, everybody who's trying to make it about everything other than reparations. They going to cut the check, and they going to give respect, and we going to be in the building the whole goddamn time, so they going to have to understand that way the go. Family, right now, let me know where you are. Let me know where you are, family, every day, all the way across the board. Is the West Coast in the house? Is the East Coast in the house? Is the Dirty South in the house? Is the Midwest in the house? You damn right, y'all. So let's show the world that we run the yard as always. Roll call. Let me see who we got in here, family. Early special FBA versus the world. And y'all know we win by knockout. Detroit in the building. I see you all the way. Certified salute to Detroit. Yes, indeed. Virginia, I see you all the way across the board. Yes, indeed to you. Tacoma, Washington, I see you. Yes, indeed. Chi-Town, yes, indeed. That's what I'm talking about. Cali in the house. Is Cali in the house? Because you know when Cali in the house, things get real. Cali in the house, that's what I like to see. B1, all the way from St. Louis. Certified salute to you. Georgia, yes, indeed. By way of D.C. in the house. Georgia, my home. Yes, indeed. Houston, I see you all the way. ATL, Dirty South. You know the South in the building. You know the South in the building. We represent all the way across. Yes, indeed. Oklahoma City, I see you. Raleigh, North Carolina, I see you. Beautiful, beautiful place. Yes, indeed. Another Maryland. Living in Houston, Texas. Certified salute to you. Brooklyn in the house, my brother Sage in the building. Yes, indeed. Certified salute to you all the way up. So in a matter of 4 minutes, we already have the East Coast. We already have the West Coast. We already have the South, and we already got the Midwest. That look like we got all the foundational Black American family here then. So what happens when you put the whole damn family in the building? You get results. You get receipts. And that's exactly what we're going to put on the line. Family, let's say this. Let's just get to work. Skip all that. Family, we are about 6 months away from the election, and the only thing that we're being offered is milkshakes, mugshots, tennis shoes, and fried chicken. These people ain't trying to change. They're not trying to change, family. Listen, the main things that supremacy is always going to want to do to you, they are going to want to stop you. If they cannot stop you, they will try to stall you. If they cannot stall you, they will try to sabotage you. Family, when you see somebody and they show you who they are, believe them the first time. We all understand that, but you got a lot of folks who don't. A lot of these people don't want to get off the plantation. They're going to go down with the Democratic Party. They're going to go down with the Republican Party. And we're going to make one thing clear on this episode, okay? Tap dancing and cooning for Donald Trump is the same as tap dancing and cooning for Joe Biden. Because, see, we don't see all them different colors. We don't see your red and your blue. What we see is white supremacy, okay? And both of these parties operate under the system of supremacy. And we're going to put that line in the sand because, family, this is serious business. We about to go to Washington, D.C., for the Rally for Reparations Juneteenth celebration. And we're going to go there and we're going to put in work. And we're going to make some things clear. And I said earlier, it's time for an FBA straightening. Well, family, today we're going to give them an FBA straightening, all right? So we're going to let everybody know when we said it's reparations over everything, that go for both parties. When we said it's no tangibles, no vote, that go for both parties. When we said you're going to give foundational Black Americans what we deserve, that go for everybody. So you see this tug of war where people are trying to play us on this side, play us on that side. We're not going for that. We're standing right here in the sand, 10 toes down in the country that our ancestors built, and we're going to make demands, and we're going to get command, and we're going to show the whole damn world. You're going to run that check, or you're going to see us on the couch. There's this whole thing now, family. You see people going back and forth and back. I'm on the Republican side. I'm on the Democrat side. I'm here to tell everybody, they will play us that way forever. They'll play that game with us forever. They'll never stop. They'll never stop. I'm telling you, you will grow old, and these people will still be talking about Republican versus Democrat. Let me say this. Republican and Democrat is a W man's problem. That ain't got nothing to do with Black people. We're not going to sit here and sacrifice and fight to be a part of the dominant society's little games. That's all it is. You got this version of supremacy versus this version of supremacy, and you always got Negroes that want to get involved in one or the other. And when they see us doing what we need to do, which is sitting over here on the sideline, independent, doing for our own goddamn selves, they want to get mad. This episode is going to be the regulating. We are going to regulate everybody who's trying to hit us with the left, right, liberal, conservative game, and we're going to let them know that it is what it's always been. And that's foundational Black Americans first, foundational Black Americans second, foundational Black Americans forever. And if you do not have tangibles that apply to us based on our own discretion, then you ain't getting no vote. So as we said earlier, family, it's the couch for 2024, and we will stay on that goddamn couch until you cut the check. Certified salute to everybody. We got the family in the building, y'all. Things is getting real. Oh, yeah. We said before, we said this election was going to take off. The next thing you know, y'all, we were going to be locked in. There's no turning back. If you ever wanted to be alive in a generation that was going to change the world, this is the generation right here, right now. Reparations, reparations, reparations. That's what it's all about. I'm starting to see the reparations conversation get convoluted. And you know, anytime, particularly Black Alpha sees something like that, oh, I'm going to go ahead and put it down. And we're going to reverse that. The reparations conversation is the focus. We are here because of the reparations conversation. The whole Black grassroots in this generation, in this era, is all signified around reparations. You got these folks running around here trying to apologize for the dominant society so we can get off reparations. Ain't happening. You got folks trying to give us milkshakes instead of reparations. Ain't gonna happen. Mug shots, tennis shoes, fried chicken, collard greens, fish fry, hot sauce, you name it. Everything they're trying to give us is everything the opposite of reparations. So what we gonna do, we gonna go ahead and peel them layers back, and we're gonna reel it all the way back in. And we're gonna reset the focus that it's about reparations. It's about cash payment reparations. Dollar bills, cash rules everything around me. This is what it's all about. And nobody from either party is gonna play us. Because understand, why these Black folks run around here and they think that they got a friend with a liberal, a friend with a conservative, them two people may argue with each other all damn day long. They can have Donald Trump up in court all damn day long. But guess what? When they all go home, they go home to the same house. And I've always said it. They're going to eat their bland-ass food. They're going to have their mashed potatoes. They're going to have all of their goddamn Brussels sprouts, not a goddamn piece of seasoning in the kitchen. They're going to have that same thing, and they're going to talk about, look how we had them Black folks fighting for us. It's the same game. And no matter how many times we put those facts on the table, everybody always goes the opposite direction. But guess what? In this generation right here, in this era with all my certifieds I see in the chat right now, we already got 260 plus people in the building. Yes, with all of us right here, family, we're going to show the world that foundational Black Americans ain't playing them games. And if you want to come and you want to talk about Donald Trump, or you want to come and you want to talk about Joe Biden, you better be talking about reparations. Because if you are not, then this right here is what you're going to see. I believe we have finally found us, our black grassroots candidate that we've been searching for, y'all. We finally found him. We finally have our black grassroots candidate, the person who's going to hold us down, the one that's going to represent for us, the one who ain't taking no bullshit. We finally got him, and that is the couch. And this is what's got everybody afraid. They don't know what to do when black Americans say, oh, no, we're not voting for no party. This is the thing. See, when you independent and you certified, you don't say, I'm going to run from one plantation to the other. That's never been the goal. The goal has never been to run from this plantation to the next plantation. That ain't our goal. Our goal, family, is to be about our goddamn self and get our tangibles. And if all the coons want to convolute that, twist that, flip that, then we're going to bring it all the way back and we're going to let them know right here, right now, today, that foundational black Americans, certified black society, we are taking command of every goddamn thing. And like they got to always do, fam, they got to deal with it as we proceed. Family, this is what we on right here. This is what you seeing out here in these streets. I want everybody to see this. Did y'all see this greaseball ass guy come out here and start talking about Trump? Y'all know the NIGGAs for Trump, family? We ain't on that. We ain't on that. Black folks ain't on that. They trying to run around here and say, well, y'all know black folks, they want to vote for Trump because he had a mugshot. No, the hell we don't. Man, y'all know that he makes a good fried chicken and milkshake. No, the hell. We ain't on that type of time. And you got folks running around here doing this. I don't care what side of the aisle your cooning comes from. Foundational black Americans ain't rocking with it. I don't care. If you pulling that lever for Donald Trump, you pulling that lever for Joe Biden, I don't give a damn. Foundational black Americans, we are operating on our own. So when you see things like this, it's time that we get a straightening, and you only straighten when you regulate. Watch this.
Hey, listen, man, I'm glad you're doing this song.
Yes, sir.
Because Trump is the first black president, not Obama. Trump is a real man. Yeah. He got a mug shot. None of them ain't got no mug shots. We all got mug shots, but we real black people. That's right. And that's why I'm glad, man. They torture him like they torture black people. And white people have been being tortured like that the whole time, but they just didn't know. But they have figured out that we all together. That's right.
Hey, not in black and white, must unite. Not in black and white, must unite. Not in black and white, must unite. Not in black and white, must unite.
Family, what type of cooning is that? Is that acceptable cooning because they're on the side of Donald Trump? Is that acceptable cooning because it's not Joe Biden? We from day one said we ain't rocking with either side. News flash to the whole goddamn world. You don't have to be on a plantation. You don't have to pick favorite racist. You don't have to be on team supremacy. There's another side, and it's called the foundational black American side. You ain't got to deal with the bullshit from either one of those. There's this thing now that if you're not on the Democratic plantation, it's okay to be on the Republican plantation. It ain't ever sweet to be on no plantation. If they don't get it, they gonna get it by the end of this episode. Y'all tell me that right there, which was blacks for Trump. How different is that than this right here, Latinos for Trump? It's the same cooning.
Blue Trump Latinos, man. You know, we out here helping the community. We survived the hurricane. And, you know, we trying to help out the community. The hood's for Trump. You already know it. So,
feel like blessing this man.
Feel like blessing somebody today.
If y'all blessing us, supporting us on iTunes, number 6, we're trying to go number 1. There you go, man.
Look at them out there trying to give a black man a few dollars. This is what's going on in the political world, y'all. Oh, we cooking today. Smash that like button. All the way 100 miles an hour, the only speed we know. This is what they doing. You got the coons who are over here talking about some blacks for Trump. Then you got these guys, Latinos for Trump. They're all doing parodies of black American culture. And notice how they trying to pay money off to a black man. That black man look like he don't know what the hell's going on. He look like he lost. He don't get it. Why is that, family? Because they're trying to use all of this as props. There's a whole lot of trash out here in these streets, y'all. And we're going to do some cleaning up today. That's one side. Watch it continue.
God bless you. God bless you. Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Look at that right there. I know y'all all seen the milkshake video. I know y'all seen the milkshake. Family, they trying to give us milkshakes. Milkshakes is what they're offering Black Americans in 2024. These folks ain't never going to change. And notice how after she doing all that tap dancing, look at Trump. He's petting her. He's petting her. Man, don't believe me. Look. She does all that tap dancing, and he literally puts his hand on her and pets her like a lap dog. He pet her. Look, y'all be thinking that foundational Black Americans ain't pulling out receipts? Foundational Black Americans ain't got the evidence? The man literally right there started to pet this woman. And this was all staged, by the way, and we got receipts. I got her name. I got her shadow organization. That lady has been working with Candace Owens. That is nothing more than a Republican on that plantation. Yes, this is what they're offering us. We've been talking about tangibles. We've been talking about reparations. We've been putting it on the line. We done went to the streets. We done went to the task force. We done went to the hearings. And they still got the nerve to give us milkshakes and mugshots and think that we're not going to vote the couch. Hell no. But what's any different from that right there than when you turn around and you see something like this?
So let me say this. Where are you from?
I'm from Colombia.
Colombia. And is this a setup? Did I ever meet you before? Huh?
I'm Hispanic and I vote for Mr. Trump. We vote for Mr. Trump.
What's the difference? What's the difference? Y'all tell me the difference.
Let me say this. Where are you from?
I'm from Colombia.
Colombia.
Hispanic.
And is this a setup? Did I ever meet you before? Huh?
I'm Hispanic and I vote for Mr. Trump. We vote for Mr. Trump.
Family, and then they had the nerve to make a damn rap video. I'm sorry, I don't know how that got there, y'all. I'm sorry. Y'all know these things just happen to pop up real quick. Let me rewind that a little bit. They had the real audacity to make a damn rap video. So now you got these Black for Trumps folks, and they running around here with all the Latinos for Trumps. And what do they all have in common, y'all? They are out here cosplaying foundational Black Americans. Notice, you don't see them out there doing the salsa. Nope, no, you don't. You don't see them out there doing any form of Hispanic music. But what do you see, y'all? You see them right there, live and in living color, doing Black raps. And foundational Black Americans ain't going for it at all. That right there, I promise on everything that Certified stand for. That won't be getting our vote. That won't be getting $1 from us. Never, never, not at all. But this is what it is, y'all. This is what they've been trying to give us. This is what they've been trying to feed us. Family, how much more work we got to put in on the Black grassroots? We've been out here grinding for the longest, y'all. We've been out here putting it down for the longest. And this is what they still trying to give us? Milkshakes? Yeah. You literally have these people showing up at these different venues, these different places, and every time they show up, family, the first thing they do is they come and they start looking for Black folks, and they still taking photo ops. They still singing and dancing. You don't hear nobody talking about money. You don't hear nobody talking about benefits. You don't hear nobody talking about an anti-foundational Black American hate crime law. No. Only thing you see these people talking about are milkshakes and mugshots. Then they got the nerve to say, well, we got milkshakes and we got mugshots, and that's the thing. And by the way, when did milkshakes become a thing with Black people? I never ever heard it. Have any of y'all heard that one? I never in my life ever heard anybody say, you know, you're going to go ahead and get the Black vote. Why? Because you got a milkshake. You know them Blacks love milkshakes. When the hell did that become a thing? I never heard that one. Never heard it at all. But this is what they're doing. They got to come up with new stuff. They got to come up with new stuff, fam, because think about it. We done already rejected the fish fry. We done already rejected collard green Kamala. Now what they're trying to say is, well, how about we just give them some milkshakes now? Let's come up with some new stuff for another generation. And notice, they're not going out there and giving them Latinos for Trump. They're not giving them tacos. Nah, they're not giving them Bel Grandes. No, we're the only ones still being offered food. The Ukrainians just got another package of $1 billion. Migrants literally are getting billions of dollars every single day. And foundational Black Americans are still being offered food. They not going to change. And now you're seeing this happening from both sides of the aisle. Why has anybody really believed that it was ever going to change? It ain't never going to change. That's just the way the game works. That's the system of supremacy. That's the way the system of supremacy operates. They keep trying to slide us off food. They keep trying to give us snacks. They trying to take our mind off of it. And you literally got folks out here having a debate about it. The same people who are debating about the food, those are the same exact people who never bring up reparations. They never bring up tangibles. The only thing that they can possibly do, y'all, is try to get foundational Black Americans off our pivot. That's why, again, and I will show it again, it is all about the couch. If you ain't talking about the couch, you ain't talking about us. If you ain't talking about the sofa, you ain't talking about us. Notice how when we start demanding reparations, we start demanding tangibles. Now, all of a sudden, family, they want to say, well, let's give them some milkshakes now. Let's go ahead and give them some tacos, but not even for them. Let's give the Black folks tacos. And I'm not lying, because I literally just seen Joe Biden. He was down at the border and he was giving tacos to Black people. Yes, they starting to give us food for everybody else. This is what it is. They've ran through every single thing they can, and they wonder why foundational Black Americans are sitting out the voter process, fam. And this is how you get real empowerment. Our empowerment is not going to come from chasing after these political parties, chasing after these political groups, doing what they tell us to do, falling in line, falling suit, hell to the no. The only way foundational Black Americans are going to get it is when we tell them shoes, milkshakes, mugshots ain't enough. And it's funny how they'll talk to us about, mugshots, but they don't ever talk about the dominant society. Ain't that funny? This goes to show you again, family, we are on a different level and they cannot deal with it. So right now in this election, as we proceed and we navigate through this election season, the main thing that we got to realize is, family, is what it's always been. Empowerment is going to come from us. Everything we've always done comes from us. Anybody trying to tell you otherwise is hating on us and trying to run opposition on the family. And look at this. This was it right here. This is exactly what we're talking about. This is exactly what we're seeing. The man literally pulled up and said he wants some milkshakes.
Can I have 30 milkshakes and also some chicken? I'm going to take care of the customers.
Whoa. I'm going to say something nobody caught. Listen real carefully.
Is business good? Chicken. I'm going to take care of the customers. And also some chicken.
See? A lot of people don't know. Listen to what he said, y'all. He said he wants 30 milkshakes, and then he said, and also some chicken. Yes, he did. Listen, tell me if you hear it. He said he wants 30 milkshakes and also some chicken. You know damn well he couldn't get out of there without saying blacks and chicken. Listen.
And also some chicken. 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 I'm going to take care of the customers. Is business good? Making a lot of money? Everyone can get rich, right? Thanks very much. Look at the way you hope. You like each other, right?
Look at that right there. That's where they meet up with us, fam. This is where they meet up with us. All right? You don't see no economist. No. You don't see any strategist. No. What you see is them meeting up with us to discuss food. The man said he wants 30 milkshakes and also some chicken. And you got black folks running around here right now saying that they gonna vote for Donald Trump, not to vote for Donald Trump based on spiting Joe Biden, okay? If you feel that you want to vote for him based on stopping immigration, what Joe Biden has coming, I understand that. Let's make it clear. But the fact is that you got the cape on, you tap dancing, you telling the whole world we gonna go red, all right? Atlanta going red, Chicago going red, New York going red, California going red. We ain't going red. We staying black, certified, BLACK, all goddamn day. And that's the only option. See, it's not about being strategic and being independent with these people. These people want to put on the cape and they want to start tap dancing. They want to start running amok. They want to start putting on this show. That's the difference. If you vote for the couch, that's strategic. If you say, I'm going to vote for this party to spite this party, that's strategic. If you say, I'm going to take away the power from these people and give it over here, but in essence, indirectly gives us the power, that's strategic. These folks ain't thinking like that. No, these folks want some milkshakes. These folks want to tap dance. These folks want to do the COON. That's what they want to do. And that's always been the play right here in America. They've always kept black folks on that coon train. This is what it's always been about. So the last week, y'all, there's been debate after debate after debate about the actual events that took place. There's been debate and debate and debate about milkshakes. Ain't nobody talking about money, though. Nobody talking about money. It's all one big interference. I told you, they want to stop you, they want to stall you, or they want to sabotage you. But you don't see anybody talking about what really needs to be done for us. The list of things that foundational black Americans can go ahead and get is enormous. The things that they're providing for us is still food. Family, how many of y'all was right here active just 4 years ago during the last election? And remember how we kept talking about they were only giving us food then? You fast forward now and they still giving us food, y'all. They still giving us food. We are the only people in the United States of America that gets offered food as a policy. The only ones. Everybody else gets money. Everybody else gets benefits, tangibles, luxuries. We are out here being offered food, and they never stop offering us food. It's food, it's food, it's food. Literally, both parties are fighting over who gonna give us the chicken first. And you got people out here talking about going red and going blue. Hell to the no. It's Certified Black Society Foundational Black Americans. The only red I'm going to see on election day is my sofa, is my recliner, is my folding chair. Certified salute to Alabama. That's the only thing you're going to see this red. And if you got it in blue, that's good too. How about that? That's what it is. I got a red sofa, but if you got it in blue, that's good too. Check it out. This is the whole play.
Donald Trump can be seen giving out free hugs at a Chick-fil-A.
I don't want free hugs. Ain't nobody asked for no free hug. This is what we saying, family. These people always come in and they reset the agenda. This is what always goes down when it comes to us. You always got somebody who's still on the plantation, ain't leaving the plantation, gonna stay on the plantation for their whole life, and then they come in and they start talking about hugs, daps, and all these things other than money. And notice how you got this W guy right here, and he's talking about Donald Trump came and he gave out free hugs. This is what they're trying to indirectly make the discourse of us politically about. Watch the way they're doing it, y'all. They're trying to make it all about hugs and everything other than reparations and tangibles. And then they send out all of these little commentators and they say, well, if we start arguing about chicken and milkshakes, then we can get the real certifieds off of real substantial evidence, real substantial facts. It's all one big play.
I wonder if he knows they're not using organic chicken anymore, but that's a different story for a different day. Oh, hey, what you know? Joe Biden voters have just arrived in New York by the bus loads. Yep, that's right. They're just getting ready for the 2024 rejection.
Now they talking about migrants. Look how that just flip-flopped, y'all. Look how that just twisted and turned real quick, y'all. Notice how it starts off talking about Joe Biden, Donald Trump, milkshakes, fried chicken, and then next thing you know, you blink, they talk about migrants, and you ain't talking about us no more. It is a whole apparatus. You have both political parties who operate under the system of supremacy. You have all the tap dancers, all of the Sambos, they operate under the system of supremacy. And then you have all these commentators who are there only to twist the conversation up and take it away from what we're speaking about. You've seen CNN, MSNBC, you've seen Fox News, and the whole time they're only talking about Donald Trump and his milkshakes and his mugshots. They never mention anything with Donald Trump when it comes to tangibles. Notice that, y'all. Notice that. What do you hear more? Let me ask y'all this question. What do you hear more? Do you hear more about Donald Trump when it comes to tangibles and benefits for foundational Black Americans? Or have you been hearing more about mugshots? Think about it. There's only two political parties that really have any power in this country. And the only discourse we're having is about mugshots. Name me the time you've seen anybody talk about Donald Trump's specific policies for Black Americans, but they talk about his specific mugshot. Okay. Name me a time you heard anybody talking about Joe Biden's specific policies for foundational Black Americans. No, but they talk about his fried chicken. This is what it is. And this is why we are voting for the couch. But that whole situation right there, y'all know that was staged. Everybody knows that was staged. There's a whole lot of things going on. As a matter of fact, why you think you keep seeing everywhere where foundational Black Americans go, you keep seeing these Palestinian protesters? Remember a few months ago, I put up that ad and I broke the story about these Palestinian protesters are literally going everywhere where Black protesters were going. They went to AME Church in South Carolina, where the brothers and sisters were harmed. We personally clashed with them outside of King Day. And then I showed the evidence that the same people who were at the church 2 days prior, those were the same people that were actually out there on King's Day. They pop up everywhere we go. Yes. Why? It's because these folks are there to derail the conversation and take it off of foundational Black Americans, take it off of tangibles, take it off of our own necessities and put it on Palestine. That's what the Democrats are doing. You want to flip to the other plantation of supremacy, what Donald Trump and them are doing. They're getting caught up in the mug shots, the blacks for Trump, the Latinos for Trump. And all of that is meant to take the focus off of foundational Black American benefits. So when I said that the party on the left and the party on the right, they'll fight all damn day long with each other. But when they both go home, they both have an anti-foundational Black American psyche, and they either one give a damn about us. You see it right there. So you got these staged events popping up. The same way these Palestinians somehow get past all the security. I mean, everywhere. In King Day, somehow they got past security. Security saw us in 2 seconds, though. At the church, they got past all security. Somehow the security got us. You literally just seen up in New York City when Al Sharpton's little tap dance organization, somehow the Palestinians made it there. You notice everywhere where you're supposed to be addressing us, the Palestinians show up, stand up and say, ceasefire. Then all of a sudden, nobody talking about reparations no more. It's all a play. It's all a game. It's all a hustle. Checkmate. And then when you flip to the other side, you start seeing whenever Donald Trump comes up and a certified Black American goes say, hey, what's up with them tangibles? What's up with them reparations? Somebody comes in and says, oh, I love you so much, I'm going to call my mama and give me 30 milkshakes and some fried chicken in the process. It's always like that. We did some digging right here on the Black Alpha Network. We did some searching, and this is what we do because we out here real Black grassroots activists. And we seen that this individual who's running around, Michaela Montgomery, the person who was hugging on Donald Trump, y'all, we seen that that was staged as hell. And we all know it was staged. Why was it staged? It's the same way the Palestinians are staged, to take the focus off of serious business.
Hey, y'all, what's up? It's Friday, so I'm going to keep it Black.
By the way, fair use, all the way across the board, fair use.
But I'm going to keep it brief. It would seem as though I've got to call you people in again, and you people as in my people. Look like to me y'all didn't get enough last week. So bring that ass here, boy. Why on earth was y'all shucking and jiving down to the Chick-fil-A on Martin Luther King Jr. Drive to perform a minstrel show for Donald Trump? I know all of us seen Maya Angelou say, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. But it don't give comprehension. On the way to a fundraiser here in Buckhead, Donald Trump carried his cracking ass down to Chick-fil-A in the West End. Now, for anybody who's ever been to Atlanta, you know good and goddamn well there is no reason you should ever need to pass through the West End to get to Buckhead from Hartsfield-Jackson.
Freeze. Listen to that point she just made. The direction in which Donald Trump traveled was literally the longest direction to go, which means that was purposely staged. They won't purposely stage anything where they got to see us, when they got to deal with us face to face. Oh, no. Hell no. But they will stage some stuff to where they can make this little photo op, talk about some damn milkshake and some chicken, and then take the conversation away.
He decided to stop there anyway to take pictures with the staff and give out free milkshakes to customers. I bet money he wanted to give out free chicken. But somebody on his team said, now that's a little bit too on the nose. I think they'll find us out if we give the inner city blacks free chicken. But it gets worse. This was a Chick-fil-A right behind the Atlanta University Center, home to Spelman, Morehouse, Clark Atlanta, and Morris Brown, where some of the country's brightest Black minds are being molded into tomorrow's thinkers, leaders, and change agents, or so we thought. Because baby, what the hell made you think it was okay to have a Spelman hand etched into the annals of history placed across this man's chest? And this baby is young, likely impressionable, and is literally being ostracized for this action in real life, so I will not condone or participate in bullying her. But it needs to be serious.
Now, family, it's a dirty game. Oh, you already know I'm on it. Oh, you already know. That person right there is non-FBA. That person right there is trying to get involved to twist us up. Oh, there's a whole lot of crazy things going on in these streets, but trust and believe, we're going to break it down. So let's think about this. You had the person getting the milkshakes, okay? That person was staged, tap dancing. Then you have this person right here talking about, man, why would you want to come to Atlanta and go there and go all the way around? And this person is non-FBA. So family, you just got tethers, tap dancers, banjos, sambos, and everybody is talking about things that pertain to us, which is none of their goddamn business. Yes, this is why foundational Black Americans have withdrawn from the game. This is why these folks are getting so scattered right now, because they know what time it is. Yes, indeed. So when you see this video right here, this is how they're going to try to twist you up. This person's going to come in and say all these things about how Donald Trump did this and it was staged and it was tap dancing. You cosplaying your goddamn self. You cosplaying your goddamn self. So now this is how tethers sneak in. All right? This is how it goes. Oh, we're breaking it down today. Smash that like button. So you got people who pretend to be on foundational Black American side. Then they argue with people who are openly against foundational Black Americans, but they make it look like they've been on our side the whole time. And why they going back and forth, next thing you know, Uganda done walked in the damn building. Next thing you know, Nigeria done walked in the goddamn building. Next thing you know, Kenya done showed the hell up. And foundational Black Americans, we are the ones in the Black grassroots, I'm talking about all of y'all, we are the ones who got to keep tight grip on this. Tight grip. First off, that forehead, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. That right there is a Fleedman forehead. All right. That forehead fled about 3 weeks before her body did. Yes, it did. That forehead fled, got to America, got a 2-bedroom apartment, and then her body showed up. Okay. That's what we're talking about. But there's no reason at all that this individual is speaking on foundational Black American business, other than they are trying to run amok. You want to know why? Because she really, deep down inside, she wants to go ahead and stake claim to foundational Black American benefits. They don't give a damn about what we talking about. The only thing they're focused on is getting their own. Foundational Black Americans, just to let you know, Fleeting and Forehead shouted, foundational Black Americans, we see through you as well. Foundational Black Americans see through everybody. Checkmate. So you already see the apparatus at play, fam. So we got milkshakes and tethers. We got mugshots and fried chicken. We got Fleedman foreheads, and we got restaurants. But nobody's talking about reparations other than us. And that's why we're talking about the goddamn couch. And that's why we're going to stay on that goddamn couch. And that's why the couch is going to stay here, right here with us. And I cannot wait till election day when we sit on that goddamn couch and we let the whole goddamn world know that if you ain't providing substantial anything for foundational Black Americans, then you just going to have to deal with it. And then when you got to deal with it, that's what it's going to be. But fam, that's not the end of it. You also had people running around here saying this. Oh yeah, fam. Oh, I don't give a damn. Let me tell you this. If you are out here tap dancing for the left or you out here tap dancing for the right, you still out here tap dancing, which means you done signed yourself up for getting regulated. Y'all remember this right here? Notice all these people who got the something for Trump, all right? Look at that man got on his shirt. Anybody who's out here saying this for Trump, none of those people are actually doing anything for us. They are always talking about some tap dancing. Have y'all seen one of these somethings for Trumps, blacks for Trumps, fried chicken for Trumps, NIGGAS for Trump, milkshakes for Trump? Have y'all seen any of them say something that's substantial? Have you? No. You don't see anything other than tap dancing. Look at this guy right here. He's doing the same game.
What do you think about the indictments?
It's a bunch of bullshit. It's going around the country. You know, Fannie Willis, she went to school with my sister. She's full of shit. She was full of shit. So she's a puppet for the white liberal that is controlling everything. She's in front, but the white liberal back there pulling those strings, telling her what to do.
About the indictments?
It's a bunch of bullshit. It's going around the country. You know, Fannie Willis, she went to school with my sister. She's full of shit. She was full of shit. So she's a puppet for the white liberal that is controlling everything. She's in front, but the white liberal back there pulling those strings, telling her what to do.
That right there, family. There's this little notion where it's like, well, the liberals doing this and the conservatives doing this. Let me say this, and I'm going to say this, and I said it 100 times. I'm going to say it again. Y'all done heard me say this, but I'm going to say it with my chest this time. There is no such thing as a black Democrat or a black Republican. There are only Sambos who work on the plantation. Yep. There's no such thing as a black liberal or a black conservative. There's only Sambos who work on the plantation. There's no such thing as the red or the blue, only Sambos who work on the plantation. If you believe that there can be a black Democrat, y'all show me how well Barack Obama was treated. Did Barack Obama have any power? Could Barack Obama go to the Democratic convention and walk around like he's the president? Because I done seen all the W's who done been president. They walk through them conventions like they the king. Everybody knows the power go up. George Bush walked in there, everybody got out the way. Yep, G-check. You start to see Bill Clinton walk up in these places. Everybody got out the way. Yep. When it came to Barack Obama, he was out here getting G-checked by people who lived in the trailer park. Yeah, blackface, high place is no power. Not at all. And what we've been doing in this generation, we've been completely dismantling and canceling this fake lie that a black person could be a part of those. What role can a black person play in white supremacy? The only role you can play is being a COON. Well, that's the same role you can play in politics, is be a COON. There's not 3, 4, 5 slots for a black man or woman. Hell no. The same job opportunities that a black person had on that plantation back during slavery, that's the same job opportunities black people have today on the political plantation. It ain't nothing flipped. Everything stayed the same. It ain't twisted, stayed the same. It ain't turned, it stayed the same. And we know that. That's why we do not subscribe. That's why we do not roll with. That's why we don't tap in with them parties. If you're a black person thinking you're accepted, then you got another thing coming and you're going to find out the very hard way. So this is why, one of the reasons why we've been voting for the couch, because we understand, y'all, that they're going to have you out here trying to chase that. They're going to have you out here trying to run amongst that, but you ain't never going to go nowhere. So when we say that these people got another thing coming, that's what it is. So when we seen the milkshakes, you also got this from Donald Trump. So family, we got milkshakes. Yep, we did. We also got a bunch of chicken as well. Need us not forget. He also offered us this right here. Y'all remember the tennis shoes? Remember, fam, anytime somebody's talking about Donald Trump, the only thing they start talking about is mugshots and how that appeals to black people, tennis shoes, how that appeals to black people, and milkshakes, how that appeals to black people. They never talk about how reparations is belonging to black people.
You young ladies that are up here crying. Look at you with the Trump 2024. Thank you, darling. I love you too. Wow. A lot of emotion. There's a lot of emotion in this room. Thank you. Thank you. So nice. So the really nice thing is we have lines, and I want to thank Chase and I want to thank Alan. But we have lines going all around the block. They go all around this block. They've never seen anything like this one. I just want to tell you, I've wanted to do this for a long time. I have some incredible people that work with me on things, and they came up with this. And this is something I've been talking about for 12 years, 13 years. And I think it's going to be a big success. Your influences have been very positive.
Think about that. Your influences have been very positive. Family, if you listen to Supremacy talk, they will tell on themselves. You're going to hear every single thing that you need to hear from the dominant society when they talk. What he's basically saying, and I'm going to give some foundational Black American certified Black society translation. What he's really saying is y'all black folks ain't getting no money. Y'all black folks ain't getting no benefits. Y'all black folks ain't getting no laws passed. But what I will do is give you some tennis shoes because that's what y'all do best any goddamn way. Yep, that's what it is. And don't let no conservative come up behind you and start talking about the liberals. And don't let no liberal come up behind you and start talking about the conservatives. Because when you start talking about the system of supremacy, they both do the same exact thing. They operate under the same exact umbrella. They always have to play both sides of the argument, and they always have to pretend that the other side is doing it. But in reality, they both are.
They've been real influences, and they love it, and they love what we've done.
Who's they? He keeps talking about they love it. Who's they? He ain't even calling you out by name. Who's they? Who is they? This for all the going red. This for all the NIGGAs for Trump. All right, this is for all of the Blacks for Trump folks. Tell me when you're going to hear him address Black Americans specifically with tangibles, with benefits, okay? The same exact way that foundational Black Americans have been telling the world, I want to see it.
That's the real deal. That's the real deal.
Boom. It is the real deal. He ain't lying about that. It is the real deal. It's the real deal that they're not going to provide us anything. Family, this is why it's vote for the couch. This is what it is. We got to take pride in that, y'all. We got to love it. We got to enjoy it. It is time for us to enjoy sitting on that couch, family, because that's where we deserve to be. Be honest with you, Black folks should have been voting for the couch 60 goddamn years ago. All right? 60 years ago, the couch should have been the play because these people will never give us anything in the political process. You got two choices. Either you become the Black grassroots candidate that is funded by the Black grassroots, or you sit your ass on that couch. But thinking you're going to run from one plantation to the next plantation, that ain't going to work. And if y'all noticed, that's kind of what it's been, ain't it, y'all? Y'all notice that, family? There's this whole thing now where folks are saying, we finally leaving the Democratic plantation. Okay. And then their asses is running to the Republican plantation. That was never the goal. That's never what time we were on. We were never talking about that. When we said bringing down the Democratic plantation, nobody said do that and then go run to the Republican plantation. It shows you the mentality of your average everyday person who still got shackles right here and up here. This is what it is. These folks do not want to leave the plantation. They still have to be on the plantation. The very fact that, fam, we're about 6 months away from the election. The election is in November. It is almost May. We are right around the corner. Somebody tell me the politician, I'm talking about the senators, I'm talking about the House of Representatives, I'm talking about the two presidential candidates. Tell me any policies that they presented to us. Somebody tell me. I know what Trump stands for outside of Black people. I know what Joe Biden stands for outside of Black people, every goddamn thing. What has foundational Black Americans been offered 6 months away? Family, we're not 6 years away. All right. We're not half a year away. Family, we are literally on the other half of that. We are getting closer to the election, and foundational Black Americans still ain't been offered nothing but milkshakes, mugshots, and fried chicken. No lie. One guy goes to get fried chicken, the other guy goes to get fried chicken. One guy goes to a milkshake spot, the other guy goes to get some milkshakes. They just flip-flopping all over the goddamn place. And then they're having these fake conversations so they can try to twist us. I seen it in the chat earlier. Yes, they got plants and tethers. We've already seen they put some plants in, and then we seen tethers pop up. How the hell did the tether? Y'all know the tether's going to be anywhere and everywhere we are. So they're sitting here waiting. This is why we on game right now. This is why we on code. This is why we stronger than ever, y'all. This is why we putting in work. I'm telling you right now, May, June, July, August, the whole summer, this is going to be one of these most important years in foundational Black American history. I'm telling you right now, it is about to go a million miles an hour. The G-checking going to go to another level, all right? The regulating about to go to another level. We about to level up, y'all. We about to level up. We're about to be face-to-face with all of the ops. Y'all know the microphone check documentary is about to drop right now, right? That is us regulating all of these people who've been running around here trying to say that they created our culture, right? We know for a fact that we're going to be in Washington, D.C., and we're going to be regulating folks when it comes to Juneteenth. Because trust me, y'all, I'm telling you right now, fast forward till Juneteenth, and the same people who are talking about milkshakes, they're going to be having RBG flags all over our Juneteenth. Yeah, the same people talk about fried chicken. They're going to have that all over our celebration. They're going to have RBG everywhere. So the tethers are going to come. Then you're going to have the tap dancers, they're going to come. The this and the that and the other things for Trump's going to come. And foundational Black Americans, we're going to be regulating all of them one by one by one. That's what we do, y'all. Oh, it's about to get real goddamn good up in here. Yes, indeed. So Stephen A. Smith been running around here. Did y'all see Stephen A. Smith? Speaking of Fleedman foreheads, did y'all see Stephen A. Smith, family? He has been out here and he's talking about Donald Trump as well. And he's been setting off a lot of people from the other side of the plantation, because this is just plantation battles, y'all. That's all it is. And we're seeing another election play out the last election. It's the same way. Let me tell y'all this. Let me show y'all. We're seeing the election play out the same way. You're seeing people provide us nothing but food. You're seeing the same Sambos going back and forth, the same black folks who think that they're part of these plantations. You're seeing it all play out again, all out again. But now you're starting to see it get even more so and go to another level. Watch this right here. Stephen A. Smith has been running around and he's been talking about how Joe Biden ain't doing this. He's been talking about how the dominant society is doing this. And watch how some other people from the other side end up getting mad. Watch this. Checkmate, checkmate, checkmate.
And I can say this because 95% of the time I voted Democrat. The only time I've ever voted for a Republican is when I voted for Chris Christie for governor in New Jersey. That was it. So I can say this. I'm looking at a Democratic Party that looks at the black community, that says, we're there for you. We're there for you. We get where you're coming from. We've got xenophobia. We've got homophobia. We got transphobia. We got all of these things that have taken a priority and elevated in a level of importance over racism. But when it's time to vote, you want to talk to black people about what you're doing for them and how you're looking out for us and how you are on our side. But this man right here, who's their GOP, the presumptive GOP nominee, is in a position to literally get back into the White House because what you're doing to him, we find eerily relatable to things that have been done to folks in.
Whoa, there it goes again. There it goes again. Listen to what he just said, y'all. He sat there for a whole minute and start talking about all these black grassroots talking points. They listening, y'all. They listening to everything we say. We are the ones who started calling out the Democratic Party's benign neglect. We are the ones who started talking about tangibles. We are the ones talking about how they elevate other groups above us and undercut us. So he sits there for the first whole minute and he says, grassroots talking point, grassroots talking point, grassroots talking point. And then at the very end, he says, black folks relate to Donald Trump based on the criminal justice system. That's the same exact thing that greasy ass Black for Trump's guy was saying. He ain't say nothing about reparations. He ain't say nothing about tangibles. He ain't say nothing about money. The first thing they go to is y'all blacks is criminals and y'all like him the same way. This is an indirect way of getting you to leave the Democratic plantation and run to the Republican plantation, but we ain't standing on neither plantation. We standing on business. Watch that little slick move he pulls right there. But we see you, homie, and your Fleedman forehead.
Because what you're doing to him, we find eerily relatable to things that have been done to folks in our community, and it's happened for decades. There's no escaping that fact. And Trump pointing it out and being accurate in doing so is perhaps the height of embarrassment for the Democratic Party, in my estimation.
Nah, family. That's not going to happen. See what they're doing now, y'all. What they're doing, they're trying to use Donald Trump's indictment as his black voter outreach, okay? Because they don't have any money. They don't have reparations. They don't have tangibles. They don't have benefits. They don't have one single solidarity policy for us. So what we're being told by de facto and by essence, we're being told that Donald Trump having a mugshot and being indicted, that is his black voter outreach program. That's what they expect us to stand on. Now, would you ever say that to the dominant society? No. Would you ever say that to the Skittles bag community? No. Would you ever say that to any community? Oh, y'all not going to get any laws or policies, but you can relate to him because, you know, he goes to jail like y'all go to jail. That's what they've been trying to throw on us. And you got black folks, and this is why we regulate today. I told you, we're going to straighten some things out. Things started to get a little twisted and tangled, right? Things started to get a little mixed up. But we do what we always do on the Black Alpha Network. We're going to straighten it all the way out. That's why it is an FBA straightening, and we're going to get some understanding up in here. So the fact is, you got the Democrats and the Republicans, you got their tap dancers going back and forth at it, and they're indirectly telling black folks, don't focus on policies, focus on him getting indicted, focus on him going to jail, focus on him actually being hustled by the system. Do y'all know any black person who says that they're going to go vote for Donald Trump because he has a mugshot? Nobody in the streets is talking about that. How come when you walk down the block, nobody's talking about that, but when you turn on the TV, everybody's talking about that? What y'all said earlier, right? There's a whole lot of political plants. It's not just political plants in terms of people. It's also political plants in terms of talking points. That's a talking point that they're doing to us. Why? It's because if we start talking about voting for Donald Trump because he's got a mugshot, now we're not demanding tangibles from Donald Trump. If we start talking about voting for Donald Trump based on an indictment, now we're not talking about policies from Donald Trump. So the very fact that people like Stephen A. Smith show up and he says, then you change the channel and then you see somebody on Fox News say it. Then you turn the channel again, somebody on ABC saying it. Why do you think the dominant society is so hell-bent on talking about blacks voting for Trump based on indictments, hush money, and mugshots? Because if we're talking about that, we're not talking about policies. But I got bad news for them. Damn all of that. Certifieds, FBA, we talking about policies. And if you are not talking about policies in return, then you're going to see this right here on Election Day. Don't hate because foundational Black Americans see through everything. The only thing you got to do now is deal with it. You ain't got no choice in the matter. The only thing that you have is understanding that foundational Black Americans are going to do what we want to do. We're going to do it how we want to do it. And anybody who gets in our way is going to get what they always get. G, check, and we taking that straight to the bank, round the corner, and then back again. Couch 2024. That part. So you already know that it wouldn't be an episode where we regulate political shields. It wouldn't be an episode if we talking about chicken and food if we didn't bring up Holland Martin. Because now Holland Martin, he's upset, y'all. Very upset with Stephen A. So you having this political plantation beef right now. These two folks on these political plantations is going at it. Why are they going at it, y'all? I'm going to tell you why they're going at it. They're going at it right now because they know they masters is going at it. When two masters are upset, then they get upset. Watch this right there. Watch how he's pissed off.
Oh, Stephen A., you're absolutely right about racial disparity in the criminal justice system. Well, Sean, tell me the last time you actually covered that. Tell me, Sean, you have actually covered the case of Tara Moorhead, the white woman in Kansas, who for 40 years was putting Black folks in jail, was putting Black people, again, in jail, made up confessions. She now has surrendered her law license. She's going to get disbarred. Show me how many times you, Sean Handy, have covered these cases of Black men being shot by cops. Show me, Sean Handy, how many times on your show you have fought for Black men who were incarcerated in prison and wrongfully convicted.
Okay, well, Joe Biden, the same person that you cape for, he's the one who sent all those Black men to jail. How many times you done called out Joe Biden for that? As a matter of fact, Holland, I seen you actually defend the 1994 crime bill, Holland. This is what I'm talking about us getting some straightening in this building. Oh, this political season ain't going down like before. This political season is going to be different because we ain't playing the games. Holland right now is trying to act like he Black grassroots and he got Black people's back. Stephen A. Smith a minute ago was trying to act like he got Black people's back. See, they'll talk this Black grassroots, Black man stuff if they can make the other party look bad. In reality, both of these guys are shills, and they want nothing more than to look in the mirror and see Brad or Ken looking back at them. They all pretend that they down for the cause. They all pretend that they blackity black in order to try to get Black folks to go vote for the plantation in which they serve. Holden Martin is sitting here talking about people going to jail, but he don't ever call out Joe Biden. By the way, Joe Biden said he does not regret the 1994 crime bill. Yep. Kamala Harris is a prosecutor. Never called them out, though, have you? Nope, not at all. So when you see him saying all of this and trying to talk tough, let a Black person right now come and start saying something about actual benefits. Holden Martin be the same one, the first one, getting mad at him. They don't mind when they can dump bad things on the other party. But as soon as you put it back on them, then it becomes such a dreaded thing.
And some of them still not being paid with Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is not being persecuted. Show me a Black person, please, who could be in court and the judge issue a gag order, and then this person violates the gag order. Show me a Black person in America who could insult a judge and his daughter and still be walking around free. Donald Trump did that. This poll here of specifically Black voters told a whole different story. That completely changes that narrative. Well, guess what? The folks at Pew recently did a poll. And the folks at Pew recently showed that Trump ain't getting more than 10% of black voters.
Freeze. Family, this is why they got some big trouble. This is why they got a big problem. And I'm going to tell you why, family. He sat there and said that they are not going to give 10% of the vote for Donald Trump. The problem is that if Donald Trump gets 10%, 8%, then the Democrats are in big trouble. That's the big problem that they have. He's not going to admit it. He's not going to accept it. He ain't going to acknowledge it. But the fact remains, he's trying to downplay it, saying Donald Trump ain't going to get no 10% of the vote. If Donald Trump gets, 5%, 6% of the vote, then it's going to be a real big problem for the Democrats. And this is why it's essential for foundational Black Americans, sit it out. Let it play out on its own. We ain't got to get involved. We can sit back and watch the way the game plays, and foundational Black Americans can come on up and we can collect all the tangibles in the process. That part. He's scared. And when you see these people going back and forth at it, family, I always say, if you see two shields going at it, let them fight. If you see two W's going at it, let them fight. We got to stop getting involved in all of these people's conflicts. So that's exactly what we're doing. So I don't give a damn. All the tap dancers, they can have fun all they want to. We not. We're going to have fun by sitting on that couch, sitting on that folding chair, arms folded back, and we're going to watch Roland Martin and Stephen A. Smith go at it. Oh, I mean, what's better than that? We're going to sit back and we're going to enjoy the show. We're going to sit back and watch Donald Trump go at it with Joe Biden. We're going to sit back and enjoy the show because none of that applies to us because they have not provided any tangibles for us. So if you're not providing tangibles for certified, foundational Black Americans, then this, quite frankly, family, has nothing to do with us. This has nothing to do with us. It's not our problem. It's not our issue. So we're going to go ahead and sit it all out. There's a beautiful thing, y'all, when you can sit on that couch and pay these folks no never mind. And that's exactly what we're doing. We paying these folks no never mind because we don't have to. And when you don't have to, y'all, you can do whatever you choose and whatever you please. But look at this right here. People want to see the facts. Look at this receipt right here, y'all. Check me out, check me out, check me out. This is what we've been offered 6 months out. Milkshake. Look at that right there. There we go. That's Donald Trump. Donald Trump said he's going to give Black folks some milkshakes. That's what he said, y'all. Milkshake Trump right there. Here we go. Okay, well, what else they got? What else are they going to offer foundational Black Americans, fam? We're going to find out. Well, Joe Biden sat down. Remember, he had some chicken with the family. He said, I brought some chicken over here now. Y'all want some chicken too? This is what they're providing us. You would be a fool to vote for somebody who's providing you food after 60 years, after you built the country, after you maintain and sustain the country. And you really think that we're going to go vote for some damn food? Hell no. But that's not the end of it, y'all. Y'all remember Bernie Sanders? Bernie Sanders, look at that. Look, fam, y'all, come on now. What we talking about in these streets? The man literally has his arm over a Black guy and he's sampling the damn chicken. He's sampling the chicken. And you mean to tell me nobody other than the Black grassroots is calling this out? That goes to show you what we always talk about. These people will stand on that plantation for life. There's no use in trying to get Roland Martin to quit tap dancing, to get Stephen A. Smith to stop tap dancing, to get all these Blacks for Trump to stop tap dancing. That's what they're going to do. That's what they're going to do. That man literally is saying, take a picture. By the way, family, y'all notice they just happened to catch that picture at that moment where he got his hand around the guy and he's taking a bite. That's what we see. That's politics right here. Hot sauce. Hot sauce. There we go. Now, mind you, Kamala Harris ain't even the one who started talking about hot sauce. That was Hillary Clinton. But now you got Kamala Harris right there, hot saucing it up. This is what these folks say that they're going to go vote for. And don't forget, by the way, Black folks was loving some Bernie Sanders a few years ago. Bernie, feel the burn. Feel the burn. Let me tell you what Bernie Sanders said. Bernie Sanders said he ain't giving nobody no goddamn reparations. And then Bernie Sanders said, but take a picture with me eating this goddamn fried chicken. So, didn't Bernie Sanders do the same exact thing that Donald Trump did? No reparations, chicken. No reparations, milkshakes. No reparations, mugshots. Same thing, two different parties. This is what you get in these streets, y'all. But we out here regulating all the way across the board because it ain't going down the same way that it went down before. Hell to the no. These folks is out here giving people food. These folks think we're going to vote for that. foundational Black Americans ain't voting. Right now, family, we got almost 600 people in here, and that's 600 people right now who ain't voting. You dig? And even if we got a couple trolls in here, they don't matter because we stepping over them any goddamn way. But this is how we are. We are regulating everything. We bringing it all the way back in, family, because it's going to be us who gets the job done. And fam, we getting it done. We getting it done. They're afraid right now. Why you think there's so much discourse? Why you think they're going back and forth? Why you think Stephen A. Smith is mad? Why you think Roland Martin's mad? Why you think they don't have no plan? Why you think that? That is all happening because the Black grassroots. The Black grassroots has everybody trying to come up with a plan, an agenda. They don't know what to do. Why don't they know what to do, y'all? It's because we are the ones telling them the narrative has changed. They could always depend on this massive segment of Black folks to fall in line. Ain't happening no more because we showed up. They could always depend on folks blindly voting blue. Ain't happening no more because we showed up. And then you got these folks running from plantation to plantation, and we calling them out. So you got the red, you got the blue, you got the tap dancers, the Sambos, and foundational Black Americans ain't going for none of them because it's all about reparations. Family, this is what it's always been about. See, we stay focused. They're going to throw tethers like the girl with the Fleetman forehead. Reject. Reparations. They're going to throw milkshakes. They're going to throw fried chicken. Reject. Reparations. They're going to throw the Bernie Sanders. They're going to throw all these people trying to sound endearing to us. We're going to reject it because when it all boils down, it's what it's always been. It's all about reparations for foundational Black Americans in the form of cash payments. You ain't talking that. You ain't talking nothing. So we vote for the couch. I said this episode was going to be a campaign rally for the couch, and we're going to proceed. And the best way you do that, family, is you start regulating, you start G-checking, and we got to go ahead and regulate and G-check this person right here. It's early in the year, but we're going to go ahead and give a Butter Biscuit Award to this guy. Somebody tell me, who is this guy right here? Somebody tell me who this guy is, because family, when you start talking about some tap dancing, when you want to talk about some moonwalking, when you want to talk about somebody who is out here trying to appease the dominant society, he got about 4 or 5 Karens and Kens all in the pipe. This person right here. These are the people that they think they're going to throw at us, and foundational Black Americans are going to bow down. Hell to the nah. It comes on both sides. We got to look at Democratic shields and Republican shields as all the same. We got to look at these folks all from the same background. We got to look at these folks as all people who want to take foundational Black American benefits and give them away. This man wants to take our benefits and he wants to give them to Karen and Ken. This man wants to take our benefits and he wants to give them to all them folks eating them bland-ass mashed potatoes. That's what he wants to do. And he wants to go to the other aisle to do so. And we're going to G-check them every way that they possibly can, because it's always been about reparations, y'all. That's what it's always been about. And people like this, we already know what's coming down the pipe. We already know. This right here is Vince Everett Ellison. This cat came on my radar not too long ago, and I seen him talking reckless about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Yeah, we regulating everybody. Whatever political party that you signed up for, whatever political party you feel you a part of, you go ahead and tell them that Certified Black Society, we done declare some smoke on them, so they all gonna get regulated. And we can put the same thing on the line with this guy right here. So he's been running around here, y'all. And I got some receipts on him. Oh, yeah. I done found out that this man's been running around here trying to get down with the Charlie Kirks of the world. Yep. This man been running around here trying to get down with the Donald Trumps of the world. Yep. And I also found out that this man been having affairs left and right. Yep, he done had a whole bunch of affairs. And I actually have some pictures of this man and the people that he's been having affairs with. Yes, Black Alpha Network, we do that. This is what we do, family. You can run, you can hide, but we gonna walk you down. So, turn up the volume, smash the like button, family. We about to go all the way in. We about to do some real regulating right here in the building, in the place. So this tap dancing banjo, he was running around here, and mind you, fam, when it's election season, y'all know they start sending these people out. These people come out from everywhere whenever the election pops off, especially this, because we on code. So he been running around here talking real reckless about foundational Black Americans, talking real reckless about what we got going. That's okay, cool. That's all right, because he gonna get all wrecked. What do you expect from somebody who looks like this right here? What you expect? What you expect from somebody who look like that right there? It's the same exact thing, okay? This is who he's been mobbing with. Yeah, This is who he's been hanging with. Yeah, they send out these people in election season because they know people like him, they'll do anything for a butter biscuit. Yep, this is what it is. So you can look right here and you can see this cat talking crazy, about foundational Black Americans, but that's okay because it is on now. We ready. Look at this video right here that came across. Somebody asked him about reparations, family, and I want y'all to see this dude's answer in the way he responded to our reparations claim. Look at this right here, family, and this goes to show you that when it comes to regulating these people, it don't matter where you from or who you are, the G-check is in full effect.
My question is, what are your thoughts on reparations?
Oh, man, it's Lucy moving the football on Charlie Brown. You're never going to get it. You know that song by In Vogue, you're never going to get it? Ever. It's putting the carrot in front of the horse to keep him moving, and he's never going to catch it. Look. All right, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give y'all something okay, I have a podcast, the Vince Everett Ellison Show. Y'all should watch it. I did a podcast on reparations and on slavery being a choice. And I tell them that I believe slavery was a choice because in 1776, when we started the American Revolution, George Washington and the British gave Black slaves, said you can have your freedom if you come fight.
Freeze. I'm seeing people say, what's his lineage? I did some research, and they try to say that he's from, I want to say, Carolina. But that forehead looks like it's from South Nairobi. All right? They've been doing this a lot, y'all. They know that we've been riding everybody about with their lineage. So what you're seeing now is they're literally going back and they're changing it. How do you know what I'm saying is true? Because remember, just a few weeks ago, I showed that they went back on the White House website and they changed Kamala Harris from being a Black woman to a Black American woman. So if they're doing that for Kamala Harris on the presidential White House website, trust me, they're doing that with these people. They say he's from like Carolina, and a lot of these people be second generation. They got some tether down the line. You know what I'm saying? But either way, this is what we're talking about right here. But we're going to get the whole facts. This is the guy who told us that slavery was a choice. And he said that foundational Black Americans should go ask Jesus for our reparations. But that's okay because foundational Black Americans are about to expose him to the whole power. Check it out.
George Washington and the British gave Black slaves, said you can have your freedom if you come fight. British said we'll give it to you. Americans said we'll give it to you. Some decided to fight. Some decided to stay on the plantation. Choice. War of 1812. Same thing. You come fight, you get your freedom. Some came and fought. Some chose to stay on the plantation. Another choice. Mexican War. Same choice. Come fight, get your freedom, or you can stay on the plantation. Chose to stay on the plantation. Civil War. Same choice. Abraham Lincoln issues the Emancipation Proclamation 1863. Told the Black people down south, you're free. Come fight for your freedom. 1% joined the Union Army. Rest stayed on the plantation, spit cotton. Even though all of the men were going to fight for the Confederacy. Instead, they picked cotton to sustain the Confederacy, build the ramparts for the defense of the Confederate Army, and dug the ditches to help them to try to help them defeat the Union Army. Another choice. After the Civil War, and this is where I get to your reparations. Homestead Act comes out, 1866. Says that you can have 100, forget 40 acres in a mule, you can have 150 acres. It was first passed in 1863, but after, and only white men could use it. But in 1866, they applied it to free black men also. And then you would have 150 acres of land. If you only will go out and work it for 5 years, you have it forever. You could use the land as collateral for your mule and for your house. Less than 5,000 took them up on it, and they were called the exodusters. Then they did the Southern Homestead Act with the same thing. 150 acres of land if you'll just work it. Less than 5,000 took them up. They turned down the reparations.
Bullshit. Complete bullshit. Oh, no. Hell to the no. First off, you got to be skeptical of these people who don't have backgrounds, all right? We've been seeing a whole lot of these folks who are in the Democratic Party or the Republican Party, and they don't have backgrounds. You can't find nothing on these people. You start saying, who are they married to? Can't find it. Who are their kids? Can't find it. Y'all know that Hakeem Jeffries dude, right? Barack Obama 2.0. I had to do real deep research to find out that his father is not American at all. These people have these real skeptical backgrounds. You can't ever find out where they're from. Don't know how they got here. Don't know how they showed up, right? This is what this guy is. Every single thing he said right there was a lie. Every single thing. As a matter of fact, the same people that he's out here praising are the same people that he's doing the tap dancing for, and the same people who selected him to come here. As he sits here and talks about black folks had this, it was the choice, this choice. This is the Kanye West talk. Remember, Kanye was running around here saying the same exact thing, but he done took it further than Kanye. He done took that down the street and around the corner. This man right here is somebody that the dominant society has plucked completely out of nowhere, and they're throwing him out there to try to stop our reparations claim by making straw man arguments like that. Only problem is he didn't expect that he'd run into somebody like Black Alpha Network. He didn't expect that he'd run into the Black grassroots. He didn't expect the certified foundational Black Americans are not the African Americans that you can run that game on, Mr. Mutombo. Because he looked like a Mutombo to me, all right? He looked like a Mutombo to me. Maybe he's half Mutombo, whole Mutombo. But what I do know is that is not certified foundational Black American talk. That right there is COON/tether talk. And this is why we regulate them. This person right here tries to run these games and tries to speak on FBA business. The very fact that he's going into detail, see, we know what a tether look like. Let's be real, y'all. One thing about foundational Black Americans, certified salute, West Coast, Los Angeles in the building. Certified salute, West Coast. One thing about certified foundational Black Americans, y'all, we know a new face. We know somebody who's trying to intervene on our business. We know when somebody ain't got no goddamn right to speak about us. We done seen it all before. We are all very astute on what an opposite, tether, foreigner, other, COON look like. But if you notice, y'all, we're mixing them all up right now. And they're sending all these people from every direction. That's why we've been regulating. So he sits there and starts talking about the Homestead Act. He starts talking about the Civil Rights era. He starts talking about the Civil War. And he's talking about how it was a choice. No. It wasn't a choice. Foundational Black Americans stood up and freed our goddamn self. And I'm always saying that right here on the Black Alpha Network. Nobody freed us. We freed our goddamn self. Nobody told us to build America. We built America. This notion that we were told to build America, because when you start talking about us building the country, they'll say, well, you only did it because you were slaves. No, we built this country because if we did not build this country, nobody was going to have a place to live because the dominant society already tried and failed. The biggest thing that they leave out of history is that the dominant society tried to build America and fell flat on their face. So if foundational Black Americans don't build America, there ain't no America, which means we did it by our goddamn self. If foundational Black Americans don't free ourselves, there ain't no America. We did that by our goddamn self. And when it comes to somebody like this, we G-checking and we regulating, and we doing it by our goddamn self. Proceed. This babble right here gets even worse, but that's okay because we got some photos and we got some evidence that he's going to not want out there in the streets, but we're going to deliver them right here today. G-check.
Turn them down. And here's the coup de grace. If you want your reparations, go to Gettysburg, where they're Union dead laying there dead. Go to Antietam when it said it was raining lead while those young men were fighting to free the slaves. Go to Shiloh. You go to Vicksburg. Those are your real reparations. 600,000 Union dead to free you from slavery, while most of you decided to pick cotton to help the people that had you enslaved.
It's funny how he'll sit there and say things like, you guys had to go pick cotton and you chose to do it, but I guarantee you he wouldn't tell anybody that we generated the wealth to this country. Anybody who says that it was a choice for slavery, they also got to say that the benefits and the money that came from slavery was the wealth to this country that is belonging to us. So he's telling us that reparations belongs to us any goddamn way. He's just too stupid to realize it. That's okay. The evidence in the G-check is coming.
So you just had an education. Then when they come and ask you about reparations, that's what you tell them, all right? Point them out to Vicksburg. Point them out to Antietam. Tell them to go somewhere around where there are young men who died young and never had children and never had families, whose descendants were erased to give them their freedom. That's your reparations. And then you turn them down after the Civil War. And
notice how upset he's getting. See, when we say we know what a tether look like, family, doesn't that sound like somebody who don't qualify for the money? Doesn't that sound like somebody who does not qualify for the check? You can tell by, first off, you can tell by that goddamn forehead. God damn, man. I don't know, dog. That forehead, That forehead looking real Uganda right now. Yeah, but you can tell who is the person who literally cannot get the money because they're the ones getting so upset about the goddamn money. Why are you getting so mad about the money, dog? Why are you getting so mad? It can't just be that you qualify and you just don't want us to get it. It sounds like you do not qualify and your ass cannot get it. The person who's usually the most upset about our reparations is typically the person who does not qualify for our reparations. Said it, meant it. That's what it really is. We know the type of energy they bring. We know the type of time they on, and they know that shit don't fly no more. So he's giving us that same talking point of, well, what about the Civil War? No. What about foundational Black Americans building this country? What about your ass coming over here on a boat? And I'm not talking about a slave boat. I'm talking about on the tether boat.
And then these liberals are making fools out of these people by telling them, are we going to give you a check? One guy said it'll cost $23 trillion. America's only worth $23 trillion. You don't get
America's only worth $23 trillion. Fam, these folks is just making stuff up as they go. He don't look like he believe himself. Hell no.
We're supposed to give the Black people, the whole nation, everything. Google, X, Alphabet.
Listen what he said. Whoa, wait a minute. Got him. Listen to how he's talking about us in third person. Tether alert. Somebody hit the tether alarm. Uh-oh. We got us a tether in the premises, y'all. Did y'all hear that right there? Did you hear the tether talk? He starts referring to Black folks in third person. I knew it was coming. I just heard this for the first time too, y'all. Just loaded it up. Listen to what he says. He says, we have to give Black folks everything. Sounding as if he is not a Black American. If you let him talk long enough, family, they show you the Jollof, they show you the foo-foo, and he done showed it all.
You don't get. We're supposed to give the Black people, the whole nation, everything.
Who's we? I want to know who we is. He's talking about we. Who's we, homie? Tell us who we is, because it sounds like you do not identify as a Black American because you're not one. That's what it sounds like to me. He said, we got to give this to Black Americans. You ain't giving nothing. You ain't got nothing. So what you talking about, Matumbo? We're going to go ahead and call this Matumbo. I think we got us a Matumbo confirmation, y'all. A Matumbo confirmation. Somebody speaking on foundational Black American reparations who ain't got no goddamn business speaking about foundational Black American affairs. That's okay, because the G-check is in process.
Google, X, Alphabet. It's ridiculous. And the fact that these people will listen to it and think that it is plausible shows you it's something wrong with them. It will.
Them. The fact that people listen to it, he says them. So I done heard a bunch of we's talking about we need to go do something else, talk about Black people in third, fourth, fifth person. Now we're hearing a bunch of theys. So it's a bunch of theys and we's, but he ain't talking about foundational Black Americans together. Proceed.
Never, ever, ever, ever happen. When Jesus come back, they can ask him for the reparations. I'm sure he'll have enough to give it to him. So thanks for the question.
My question is, what are your thoughts?
That right there is your typical undercover tether. That's what we're going to have to start calling it, y'all. The undercover tether. See, back in the old days, the tethers used to pop up, right? Y'all remember that? The tethers didn't mind back in the old days because wasn't nobody really checking them, right? Tethers back in the old days would just come like, yes, I'm from Kenya. You guys need to work harder. I'm from Jamaica, man. Remember that? That's how it used to be back in the old days. They used to just be open with their tetherism. That's what they used to do. Now, you got a bunch of undercover tethers. And the reason why they got to be undercover, y'all, is because they know foundational Black Americans are checking what? We checking their paperwork. We checking their foreheads. We checking their hairlines. That's what they do not want us to see. So the very fact we have been G-checking all of that, that goes to show you they are shook with nowhere to go. Nowhere to go, ain't got no spot to run to. That's okay. By the way, foundational Black Americans, I just sent that guy a couple emails. And I told him, come see Black Alpha Network. Come see me and we can talk about all that. You want to talk about FBA? Well, come talk to a certified foundational Black American. I know you ain't going to do it, but just to let you know for two reasons. One, I'm letting you know you will get G-checked. And then two, I'm letting you know we see you, homeboy. We see you very, very, very clear. So the very fact that he's been running around here and speaking on foundational Black American business, I want to let him know that foundational Black Americans, we see him all the way across the board. We see him all the way across the board. So come on and get that G-check from a certified foundational Black American, and then you will find out the type of time that we on. And that time that we on is something you can't deal with, you can't handle. That part, that part, that part. So when you start looking at all these people, and you're right, this does come across like a Clarence Thomas, another Herman Cain, that kind of energy. But there's a little tether, it seems like, mixed in that, y'all. It seems like there's some tether vibes and all of that. So we got to be very cautious about these people. We already showed earlier the girl with the Friedman forehead, and she was popping up. And what was she doing, y'all? She was speaking on foundational Black Americans in a very indirect fashion. That's what they've been doing. They'll talk about us in every little way that they can because they know what type of time we are on. We're seeing everybody. You walk in the door, we're going to see. How many times on these Twitter spaces does somebody call in and we bring up, where you from? And they'll be like, these people do not have pride in where they're from. This is why these people are always lying. If you ask somebody where they from and they can't even answer the question, that means they're not prideful. That means they're not prideful in where they're from. They have no self-pride in it at all. So therefore, they try to run that type of hustle on us. This is what these people do. And they're scrubbing people's backgrounds. I'm telling y'all, there's so many things, y'all, that I actually have and I actually saved that when you look on the internet now, it ain't even there no more. No, the people who harmed Breonna Taylor, there's a picture of the guy who did it, and he's on the beach hanging out with some Karens. I literally saved that 3 years ago on my old phone. You type that in right now on the internet, you ain't gonna find it. I had to go to my old phone and go pull it out. When Kamala Harris was running around here and they was trying to say that she was a Black woman, they didn't think that we screenshotted that and see now that they're saying that she's a Black American woman. They didn't think we've been screenshotting. That's why on every episode, what am I always saying, y'all? I'm like, screenshot this. Please screenshot this. We need to screenshot it so therefore we can have it all documented. That's what they're doing with these people. And they only doing it because foundational Black Americans are operating where we see everybody and where they're coming from. That's why I say we winning right now. We winning. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. We are winning so strong right now. Nobody knows what's going to happen in the election. Hell to the no, because foundational Black Americans got them all against the ropes. Nobody knows what's going to happen with these tethers popping up left and right. Why? It's because foundational Black Americans got them against the ropes. When we say that right there, that definitely has everybody scared and everybody shook. They don't know what we're going to do on the election, y'all. Trust me, they still somewhere in their head think that they might have a chance, they might have an opportunity, they might have some hope, but it ain't going to happen. Couch for President 2024 is the reason why they're throwing all these people at us. Yes, voting in the United States of America dictates who is going to be the next supremacist in office. And foundational Black Americans telling everybody that we not voting, that's messing up their game. That's messing their game all up. They like, oh, hold up. It ain't supposed to be like this. Foundational Black Americans ain't supposed to have this type of power. Foundational Black Americans aren't supposed to be able to dictate what's going on out here in these streets. You goddamn right we do. You goddamn right we do. And when we say, family, that we got all the power, it's not just having it. It's about having the power and acting like it. And that's what we've been doing. We've been having the power and we've been letting everybody know that it's over here on this side of the fence. So you can throw anybody you want at us. They all gonna get the same outcome. But we ain't done. That same guy, he been running around here talking reckless about Dr. Martin Luther King. I told you, the same way that you got the Candace Owens of the world, same way you got this guy. This is Herman Cain 345.0 mixed with Matumbo. So when you hear people talking about we gonna leave the Democratic plantation, we gonna go to the Republican plantation, or you hear people saying we relate to Donald Trump because he's got an indictment, these people don't know that you're gonna get that. You got people right now, they say go red. Now, are you going Trump or you going red? Because understand, when you say that you're going to go red, you're going to end up with Charlie Kirk. You're going to end up with Candace Owens. You're going to end up with that guy right there, Mr. Banjo. You're going to end up with Larry Elder. You're going to end up with Jason Whitlock. This is what happens when you go red. So is it about going red, or are these people deep down inside really just Republicans? See, now the Republicans have been trying to seize an opportunity. The Republicans know that foundational Black Americans, we are not rocking with the Democrats. So being the exploiting, sleazy supremacists that they are, now they're coming in and saying, Black Americans, I know you don't like Joe Biden, come over here. But they're not offering us nothing. It is nothing more than merely the Democratic plantation coming down and Republicans trying to steal you from one plantation and take you to another. It's like if you had a slave and then someone else comes and said, I'll buy your slave from you. You got to always look at politics from the same lens as I always look at it. It's slavery. Black folks do all of the work, get none of the benefits. What do they say after every election? Black folks save democracy. Same way Black folks saved the country after the Civil War, the Revolutionary War, the Vietnam War, World War I, World War II. Same thing. Voting is picking cotton. That's exactly what it is. And we, certified foundational Black Americans, we the ones who don't go for none of that stuff. We see the parallels. We see the nonsense. We see the games. But we ain't out here to be bamboozled. We ain't out here to be hoodwinked. We ain't out here to be had and conned. This is because this is the first generation where the Black grassroots has the power. And the fact is, since we got the power, everybody else has to bow down. When I say we winning, and we simply doing it by being ourselves. So this guy's been running around here and he's been talking reckless about Dr. Martin Luther King. And that's something else I want to bring up. Remember when I say that our victories look different? I say our victories don't look like everybody else. See, everybody else has to get benefits and tangibles from the government. Everybody else gets elevated. We do everything by who? By our goddamn self. And we do it good too. Yep. We became the strongest lineage, heritage, and culture on the face of this earth by ourselves. See, it ain't just about us being as great and exceptional as we are. It's about the fact is we became great and exceptional and we're the only ones who did it. What they say, you looking at the people who made us. Nobody else did. These other groups, they can't say that. The Skittles bag, you cannot say that, okay? All the Black and brown, you can't say that. Minorities, they can't say that. Somebody handed them things. Foundational Black Americans, we never took no handouts. We built this country by our goddamn self, and we're going to continue to do it by our goddamn self. So you're seeing this hatred now for Dr. Martin Luther King. Why are you seeing so much hatred for Dr. Martin Luther King, y'all? The dominant society, they used Dr. Martin Luther King against us for literally 30 years, really 60 years. They've been using Dr. Martin Luther King against us. Why all of a sudden is there this thing where they talk crazy about Dr. Martin Luther King? Remember that lady tried to burn the house down? Remember that? The lady tried to burn the house down in Dr. Martin Luther King. How come that's happening all of a sudden, y'all? That never happened before. They were always talking about what would Martin do? Anytime foundational Black Americans try to stand up and rise up, the dominant society would always weaponize Dr. Martin Luther King. They can't weaponize Dr. Martin Luther King no more. Why is that, y'all? I'm going to tell you why. Because we have reclaimed him. The first thing we did in this generation was we reclaimed the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. That was the first step. Once we reclaimed his legacy, then we used it to empower and to strengthen us. And Dr. Martin Luther King saying we're coming to get our check, that's become the rallying cry for our reparations movement. That's the motto. That's the quote. So now that we took Dr. Martin Luther King back, now all of a sudden the dominant society, they don't like Dr. Martin Luther King no more. Now they're in the 70s, they're in the 80s, they're in the 90s, and the 2000s. They were always trying to say, Martin wouldn't do that. They was cool with Dr. Martin Luther King when they could try to steal and whitewash his image and use it against us, when they weaponized his legacy. They were cool. But we went back and said, forget that speech, forget that speech. Let's talk about that we coming to Washington to get our check. Let's talk about how Dr. Martin Luther King wasn't just somebody running around here happy with the world. Let's talk about how Dr. Martin Luther King is a certified foundational Black American. Not one of these half Mutombo Herman Cain people where you can't see their background. They scrubbing all the records. We know who Dr. Martin Luther King is. So what happened now? Now all of a sudden these people got smoke for Dr. Martin Luther King. But we not having that. We not having that. Hell no. So much love and certified salute to all of us for reclaiming the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King. But you know what that, family? Here come the haters. And when you start talking about the haters, let's go right on back to Mr. Herman Cain Mutombo. Listen to this right here. This is him speaking with Charlie Kirk, and watch how they're talking about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., y'all. This is why we regulate. This is why we G-check. This is why it's Couch 2024.
If everything that I've read about Martin Luther King Jr., and again, all of it has come from Democrat Party sources, Democrats, no conservatives here. One book was by David Garrow called Bearing the Cross. Another one by Taylor Branch. He was Bill Clinton's roommate at Yale called Parting the Waters. Another one by a guy by the name of Jonathan Eve. He's another very, very liberal Democrat. Ralph Abernathy, Martin Luther King Jr.'s successor and best friend, and Jackie Onassis. They all say the same thing about King. And what they're saying is that he was a despicable man, that he was immoral. I heard about King where he said that at this hotel inside of Tallahassee.
When would they have ever said this before? This guy just said Dr. Martin Luther King was a despicable man. This ain't no FBA. This ain't no FBA. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Listen to what he just said.
And what they're saying is that he was a despicable man, that he was immoral. I heard about King where he said that at this hotel inside of Tallahassee. He was trying to segregate it. They called the police on him. And when the police asked him, what did he want? He said, I want my dignity. Well, see, I hate that story. Why? God gave me my dignity. Martin Luther King Jr. is going to let a $2 hotel clerk take his dignity from him. And he's telling black people the only way you can have your dignity is when white America gives it to you. This is why we're at the bottom of every socioeconomic statistic here in America right now. Party. We got 5 times more men in prison. The only thing Martin Luther King Jr. did was teach black people to vote for a Marxist Democrat Party. And that's why he has that statue, and that's why they love him.
Whoa, listen to that right there. The only thing that Dr. Martin Luther King did, and he tried to spin it back on the Democrats. I told you, these people live in a world of Democrat versus Republican, Republican versus Democrat. Look how he tried to flip that back, y'all. This is what we're saying. They love Dr. Martin Luther King until foundational black Americans reclaimed him. Look how mad this guy is. The same way he was getting mad about reparations. This is what they do when they cannot steal from us. This is what they do when their lineage is in question.
Vince, stay right there. We are just getting warmed up. And I want to compliment you on your courage, because you're not supposed to even talk about this. You're not supposed to ask questions, but you hit it perfectly. Has Black America, have they objectively gotten richer, happier? Have their lives improved significantly the more that we have worshipped MLK? I want you to think about that, because the numbers say no. We're actually more segregated. Are blacks off better today? No. And maybe it starts with challenging the myth.
You cannot get good fruit from a bad tree, or bad fruit from a good tree.
The myth, the only myth about MLK is that MLK only had a dream. The same people who told us that MLK had a dream and supremacy went away, now all of a sudden they're trying to tell us that Dr. Martin Luther King saying coming to get our check was a myth. Yeah, it's funny how now they're trying to flip what the myth is. The myth is that you try to sell us Dr. Martin Luther King and we rejected it. Now all of a sudden they got a problem with our foundational black American icon. Watch the tap dance and proceed.
The fruit fruit be out the zone. And if the fruit is bad, the tree had to be bad. And the tree is MLK and the civil rights movement. In one generation, the black community went from 80% of their children being born in wedlock to 80% being born out of wedlock. Why? MLK's fingerprints were all over it. You know, and then when you start getting into the crazy stuff he did in his personal life, the orgies, the rapes, it all comes together that there was something extraordinarily wrong here. And he's being elevated for what?
We know for certain that MLK
He's being elevated. Who elevated Dr. Martin Luther King? They created a fake Dr. Martin Luther King so they can elevate him over foundational black Americans, and we're not going for it. Now notice, fam, look how he's being guided. This is what we talk about these Sambos. Look how he's being guided, y'all. Look how literally you got the W man telling him, okay, now talk more bad about Dr. Martin Luther King. Okay, now take my hints, take my suggestions. I'm leading you around. He's literally holding his hand and telling him, man, you need to say this, you need to say that. I'm telling you right now, Butter Biscuit of the Year award, COON of the year. Hell no, we giving them the award for 2024, 25, 26. This person right here has literally earned the award for being the biggest tap dancing banjo for the next decade. It's going to take something hella crazy to get it out of this person. But look how Charlie Kirk, his little W friend, starts saying, okay, let me reel you back in. Now follow my directions. Look at this face right here. That's somebody who is massa. And this right here is someone who is following directions. This is what we talk about with these people.
A minister was a womanizer and had multiple 40-plus affairs. I want to make sure that is mentioned. Now, that's not necessarily a disqualification, but it should make pause before we turn that into a national holiday. But there's also another accusation around Martin Luther King. This guy won a Pulitzer Prize for running an MLK bio by David Garrow, as you say. So the accusation
wasn't true. He said they actually went to this one woman's house and King slept with her. Then they went to the Lorraine Motel and he met with the first female black senator from Georgia. Her name was Georgia. Her last name is Powers. They said the king slept with her. While there, they say his second wife, her name was Dorothy Cotton, she worked for the ACLC, found out what happened, and she confronted King. And Ralph Abernathy said they got to fighting in the hotel room, and King beat her up. Now, this is what Ralph Abernathy said. This is not the FBI. So this looks like this was part of King's behavior. He slept with 2 women that night. Then he beat up a 3rd woman the night before he got shot. So, and about these FBI files, I'm going to tell you, Charlie, why I believe them. You and I know that they have the suicide letter in these FBI files, where the FBI sent King a note with sex tapes in it, telling them that they were going to release all this stuff if he didn't commit suicide. If these guys were going to lie about something, they would have lied about that.
Man, hell no. Okay. Y'all notice, fam, that first off, he was being guided. Second off, he's speaking completely separate. And out of nowhere, he starts talking about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Okay, we got all that. Okay, tap dancing galore. We understand. But if you notice, the main thing that you see right there with this individual is when you see Dr. Martin Luther King's legacy being spoke of, every single thing that is good about Dr. Martin Luther King, they flipping back. And they don't really want it to be addressed. They don't really want it to be focused on. Why is that? Because Dr. Martin Luther King's legacy has empowered us. And he seems to believe every single story that he's being fed about Dr. Martin Luther King. Why? It's because that individual right there is what you call a banjo. And every time he starts talking, you hear the banjo playing. You hear the banjo in your head. Because that right there is somebody who thinks that they're going to go above foundational Black Americans. It ain't going to happen. So with that said, I got to show this real quick, because if we're talking about the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I always say it's on us to make sure the legacy stands strong. It's on us to make sure the legacy is powerful. This is why us in the Black grassroots, we've been holding it down when it comes to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Nobody is going to take Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Let me say this. Much respect to the older generations. Much respect. I mean this. I really do. But there ain't no goddamn way, y'all, that we in this generation would ever let anybody take Dr. Martin Luther King's legacy the way that the older generations did. No. I get it. The African American was running around here. I get it. Cool. But damn it, ain't nobody doing that. And let me say this. Notice people like Barack Obama don't say nothing. Remember, Barack Obama was the main one talking about Dr. Martin Luther King, and they were stealing quotes. I literally seen Kamala Harris plagiarize a Dr. Martin Luther King quote, speech. So the same people that were running around here saying Dr. Martin Luther King quotes, always speaking to Dr. Martin Luther King. Y'all remember those pictures that they would have? And they would have like Malcolm and Martin, and then they'd have Obama, and we'd all be like, hell no, get him off of there. Y'all notice Obama don't say nothing? All these people that were using Dr. Martin Luther King 10, 12, 20 years ago, they're not out here G-checking that. How come it always comes back to us, certified Black society? We're the ones who are out here regulating all that. Nobody's saying a thing. Where you at, Obama? Where you at right now? You don't, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, the same people that were always quoting Dr. Martin Luther King. He had a dream. Dr. Martin Luther King this, Dr. Martin Luther King that. Barack Obama used to literally run around here and say racism got better because of Martin Luther King. But yet you sit there and see people damage and tarnish his name and don't say nothing. That's why I say we are independent, we are solo, and we do it by our goddamn self. If something needs to be regulated, we're going to do it. If the lineage needs to be uplifted, we're going to do it. Everything always comes back to us. That is fine. That is cool, because we got strength by being on our own. Nobody is ever out here assisting foundational Black Americans and when we regulate people. But okay, if that's the way they want to play the game, that's the way we want to play the game. Check this. I want to show y'all. Dude that we just seen, Mr. Banjo, he actually has a book out. And I want to show y'all his book. It's called 25 Lies. He's got a book out. You know, I don't know who's buying the book, but I want y'all to see this book right here. This is his book right here, y'all. Yep, the book is, I heard it's out right now. You know what I'm saying? I heard it's on the Coon bestseller list. So, certified salute to all the foundational Black Americans who will never buy that. You know what I'm saying? But I know it's on the Coon list, the Coon bestseller list, the banjo, the tap dancer. That's what it is right there, family. He's been out here running around trying to promote that. That's why he was there with Charlie Kirk. And that's why he was talking all of that. But he got the book out there right now. and it's in the streets, and everybody out there is talking about how this right here is one of the biggest tap dancing butter biscuit books of all goddamn time, and it is out there in the streets. That's that man's book. And we right here, we here for it. So yes, family, he got that book out there in the streets, man. He's trying to get him some extra butter biscuits. He's trying to get him some, some extra, crumbs off the butter biscuits. That's what he needs, man. So this dude right here, he's got it all. He's running around trying to promote it. But that's not it either, y'all. No. What would it be without foundational Black Americans putting a roast on? You know what I'm saying? It is not a Black Alpha Cast unless we literally start dropping some Black Alpha Network exclusives. Well, I have a Black Alpha Network exclusive. So while we was trying to find out this man's lineage, while we was trying to find out where this man's coming from, while we were trying to find out what type of time this man was on, I stumbled across some very, 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 very disturbing photos, y'all. I mean, just terrible. Y'all ever see something and you can't unsee it and it's just locked in your mind for a long time, but it is what it is? So I started seeing this dude, and I was wondering why him and Charlie Kirk was so cool. You know what I'm saying? I was like, why the hell him and Charlie Kirk, like, them looks? Y'all seen just a minute ago when I freeze framed it, and he was looking at him. I was like, that ain't just a master-slave relationship. It seemed like something else is going on behind the scenes. It seemed like they're a little more familiar with each other than just trying to bash Dr. Martin Luther King. So I want to show y'all this real quick. I came across these photos. You know what I'm saying? Black Alpha Network exclusive. Y'all bear with me. But we come to find out that Mr. Everett Banjo and Charlie Kirk, they're a lot closer than we expected. But here we go. That's what it is, y'all. I see that they've been laying up together. You know what I'm saying? They say slave master and slave that pray together, stay together, and they lay together. So that's what they've been doing right there, family. They've been having a great, jolly, dandy-ass time. Who knows what happens when the doors are closed? It just seems like a lot of things have been going on behind closed doors. So that's him right there, and Charlie Kirk. Those are some Black Alpha Network exclusives. You're going to find that nowhere other than the new Black media. I heard that the bussy been popping, sideways, upside down. You know what I'm saying? I heard they've been passing him around. You know what I'm saying? So this is why we got the type of energy that we were getting from him. I knew it made sense. You know what I'm saying? The way he was looking at Charlie Kirk, it looked like they was a little closer. So I heard they've been passing him around, y'all. I heard he been getting passed around like a goddamn Frisbee. This is what I've been seeing. This is what I've been hearing. And now I actually got evidence to show and prove. But fam, it ain't just with him. No, I've been hearing that it go even deeper than that. I heard that he been a bedfellow to a lot of folks out there in these streets. A lot of folks. He been hugging it up with Massa. Massa been passing him around like a $2 goddamn you know what. Yes. Seeing this as well, y'all. Sean Hannity got him a taste. So he been out there, having fun with Sean Hannity. He been out there getting hands on him from Sean Hannity. You know what I'm saying? He got them Sean Hannity hands. You know what I'm saying? So this is what this guy's been doing out here in these streets, man. This is what he's been activated on. So when we see this guy, I want y'all all to remember, this is where all the tap dancing comes from. This is where all the cooning comes from. It comes from his love and his lust to be next to Massa, and they out there having all types of relations. And we just knew it. We knew it. Hey, I'm telling you what I say. Foundational Black Americans, we can see a space, call it what it is. We know a tether, we know a tap dancer, and we also know when somebody get that BUSSY popping. So that's it right there. They've been having fun, so I'm going to go ahead and let them have more fun because foundational Black Americans are regulating. That right there, the dude, foundational Black Americans, we run the yard, G-check, regulate. Fam, it ain't done. When we start talking about reparations, everybody's got something to say. So we regulated Mr. Mutombo, Herman Cain, gone, trash, put them on out, lights out. But you got to also remember they're doing other tactics to get us off of reparations. One of the other tactics they're doing, y'all, to get us off of reparations, you got a lot of these W's running around here and they're trying to fake apologize. That's what they've been doing. They've been trying to apologize to foundational Black Americans because they want us off it. Mind you, it's either milkshakes to distract us off reparations. It's mugshots to distract us off reparations. All right. It's Sean Hannity putting his hands on Mr. Herman Cain 2.0. That to distract us off reparations, but nobody can get us off. We're laser focused. Y'all know that lady Mariana Williams or whatever the hell her name is. Did y'all see this right here? When she literally led a mass damn near prayer, but it was basically her apologizing to black people. Did y'all see this right here? This is what they're doing, because they say, if we accept the apology, maybe we'll quit talking reparations. If we'll relate to a mugshot, we'll stop talking reparations. Look at them right here having a staged apology. No lie.
An apology from white Americans to African Americans on behalf of our country, to you and to your ancestors. And
freeze. Yeah, hey, y'all right. Old buddy right there, Sean Hannity, that was a not a no Diddy, that was a yes Diddy moment. Yeah, Sean Hannity and Mutombo, they had a yes Diddy moment. Checkmate.
To all of your people. So to the African Americans in the room who would wish and be willing to participate in this, please stand up. And now I'd like to ask white Americans who are sitting near you to please stand up. And if the African American citizen would be willing to allow a white American who wishes to apologize to you and take part in this to hold your hands. And now, as I speak, I'm going to ask the white Americans in the room to please repeat after me. On behalf of myself and on behalf of my country, to you and all African Americans, from the beginning of our nation's history, in honor of your ancestors and on behalf of your children, please hear this from my heart. I apologize. Please.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me. This morning. I am the wife of Pastor Les Robinson. Quickly, we've seen America rally behind court cases through the years over intellectual property and real property, oftentimes resulting in millions of dollars in restitution. We rally behind it without the blink of an eye because it's something that has been stolen and restitution should be made. We cannot forget or ignore the fact that we stole people from their native land. We stripped them from their families, from their culture, and from their birthright. Yet white America has turned a blind eye to this and say they should get over it, or it's been so long and it doesn't affect the African Americans today.
Hold up. I told y'all, let them talk. Let them talk, y'all. Listen to what she said right there. Listen to what she said. She said what she really meant to say. African. She meant to say African. Listen to how she stutters. She's like African American.
We cannot forget or ignore the fact that we stole people from their native land. We stripped them from their families, from their culture, and from their birthright. Yet white America has turned a blind eye to this and say they should get over it, or it's been so long and it doesn't affect the African Americans today because it happened so long ago. On behalf of myself,
you heard that. She said the American African. The American African. That's what she said, because that's really who she's talking to. Y'all, check this out. When you get on any of these social media sites, you see all of these W's who are always advocating for reparations. That's what you always see. See, they'll advocate for it on TikTok. They'll advocate for it on Instagram. But you don't never see these people in the real world. You know, it's the ally that you always see out here in the streets, but you don't never see those allies anywhere when it comes to a black American on the damn juror. When it comes to the juror, they be having their hands up saying, he sold my purse. put them in jail. You don't never see these people. You see, they pretend to be on our side when they believe that they can stop us from getting reparations. Then you'll start seeing stuff like that. That apology is fake. The other mass apology was BS. In reality, what it is that they're either A, talking to the African, or B, they're trying to get us to say, well, apology, it's over. See, think about that, y'all. If they're sitting there apologizing to us about reparations, don't you already know, family? In reality, they're only apologizing because they feel the apology would get us to stop. That's what it's about. They think the apology will get foundational Black Americans to give up our claim. Not happening.
My family and my ancestors, I want to publicly apologize to the African American community for our ignorance, our arrogance, our insensitivity to your cause, and for any part we may have had in the atrocities done to your people. I stand here today humbly.
Oh, y'all knew the tears was coming. Y'all know the tears was on their way. What would it be like without the tears, y'all? That's what you see. You knew it was coming. That is your typical Karen right there, y'all. That is your typical Karen. You knew what was about to happen. You knew she was going to come out there and then she's going to hit you with some crocodile tears. She don't give a damn about your reparations.
To show my love and support, whether enslaved or freed, we know that many African Americans have had inventions they didn't get credit for and therefore earned no revenue. Land was stolen from many, as in my husband's case.
Freeze. Enough. This is what they do, y'all. Oh, man, they go to every length and every way to try to stop us. We don't want none of that. I ain't seen not nail one. Y'all know why, though, right? The reason why you see this is because have y'all seen anybody ask for reparations? No, we demand it. Have you seen anybody beg for reparations? No, we demand it. Have you seen any of us plead for reparations? No, we demand it. The fact that we demand reparations and we have the energy of we will take it. I was just on the space yesterday and somebody was talking about they don't know if we're going to get it and whatever. I said like this, reparations is not to be asked for, it's to be taken. Reparations is not to be given to us, it's to be taken. And we got to take the reparations mentality. I always say two choices, give it up or get it took. So now they're trying to soften us up with all these apologies, I'm sorries. Notice too, y'all, who are the first ones they sent out there? They gave us two Karens. Yeah, they thought they was going to hit us with them W women tears. That's what it was. They thought that they was going to hit us with some W women tears, and then we was going to turn around and say, okay, we'll take the apology. Y'all know damn well, would the dominant society ever apologize to you if they weren't trying to stop you from demanding? The apology, the fake one that they give us, it is only designed so they can get foundational Black Americans to give up. That's what it is. The dominant society don't apologize. I'm going to say that today. The only reason you will ever see the dominant society apologize for anything is if they feel that their apology can be used to get you to fall back. That's what that was all about. And we know it from the jump, from the start. That's why that ain't going nowhere. So when you see mass apologies and everything, look at it, what we've seen so far, family. We done seen people come around foundational Black Americans, tethers. We've seen people who are questionable tethers, or we don't really know much about their background, hating on Dr. Martin Luther King. We got Dr. Martin Luther King hatred. We got tether hatred. We got milkshakes. We got chicken. We got two political parties offering us food. But you ain't seen nobody talking about reparations. We got Karens trying to give us apologies. This is the world we living in right now. This is what we've been seeing out here in these streets. And when you turn around and you look and we say that we're voting for the couch, you already know why. We're 6 months out and that's what they're trying to feed us. Ain't happening, y'all. Give me the money. Give me the paper. Give me the dollars. That's what it is. We are still focused on cash payments. So when you see people running around here and you got these folks saying blacks for Trump, that's where we're going to go. Because you got to understand, family, it is well known and documented the type of time that the Democrats are on. We have dismantled the Democratic Party. But you got to understand, when the Democratic Party goes all the way down, now you got a whole bunch of people who are coming around here. And what are they trying to do? They're trying to recruit all of the people. They want the leftovers. They want the leftovers. We, certifieds, we are the only ones who are not falling for the game. A lot of these folks have to be on somebody's plantation. It's just what it is. They have to be on the plantation. But I was asked this question. Have you heard anybody ever ask Donald Trump about reparations for foundational Black Americans? No, you have not. Have anybody ever asked Donald Trump about tangibles for foundational Black Americans? No, you haven't. Do you think these people right here really are going to try to get reparations? All these blacks for Trumps, let's talk. All these we going reds, let's talk. Are those three people right there? Trump and Republicans are not racist. Listen what they're saying. Look at it. You really think reparations and tangibles and benefits are going to come from these guys? You really think they care? That ain't no different than Joe Biden. I said it before. Tap dancing for the Democrats and tap dancing for the Republicans is the same damn thing. Both of them. And don't let dominant society left play good cop, dominant society right play bad cop, and then they flip-flop and black folks running them plantations. Hell to the no. We know what type of time it is on. But I actually did some research on Donald Trump. Let's find out what his reparations stance is. We're going to go there. We're going to go all the way there. I did some real research, and I found out that the only time Donald Trump has been asked about reparations, you know it ain't coming from them three clowns. You know it ain't coming from the Let's Go Red, okay? The people who want Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens. No. I actually did a study, and I found out what Donald Trump feels about reparations. And it's been 3 times that he's mentioned reparations. 3. Yeah, and I'm going to tell you what happened. He mentioned reparations for China. Yep, he said China owes people reparations. He also said he deserves reparations. Yeah, I'm going to go there, and I got all the evidence. Donald Trump brought up reparations, and he said that he deserves reparations because the Democrats were messing with his first election when he was under his first investigation. And then the 3rd time he said reparations he doesn't feel is going to happen. Those are the 3 times that you've seen Donald Trump mention reparations. We heard Joe Biden say no reparations. We seen Joe Biden say only if the Indians get it. We seen Kamala Harris say she ain't doing nothing. So we already packaged and tied up the Democrats. Now let's look at the other aisle. They said it's 2 aisles now. They say red or blue. Okay, we say couch. You see that Donald Trump has only mentioned reparations 3 times. And I'm going to have all 3 of those receipts right here on the table. He said he deserves reparations for himself. China owes us reparations as a country, and he does not see reparations happening. That's what happened. But last week, he popped up, family, and he had his son. Y'all see when his son was on Academic show? Did y'all see that when his son popped up on Academic? Let's see what his son feels about reparations. Let's go there. Let's go there. If we're going to be real, we're going to be all the way real. We're going to be thorough. Let's be all the way thorough. First and foremost, fair use, fair use, fair use. All the videos, all the clips that I'm playing in this episode are only for news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use, fair use, fair use. YouTube, this is fair use. Let's look at what Donald Trump Jr. feels about reparations. Everybody talking about go red, vote Trump, go red, vote blue, when neither one of those parties supports reparations. And if you don't support reparations for foundational Black Americans, then foundational Black Americans ain't supporting you. This was Donald Trump Jr.'s stance on reparations. This is a week ago.
Reparations. That's a conversation that's been ongoing. I feel like it comes up here and there, and people always wait for some type of, hey, listen, if people are getting either paychecks or what's supposedly due to them, what about African Americans and reparations?
Yeah, I'm not generally. I think it's you see the stuff going on in California, and it's like, well, if we took 10x the California budget, I'm like, what? Like, I look at, me. Do I pay into this? Like, my grandparents came here in 1906. We were never.
I think the idea is that African Americans built the country.
Freeze. Notice, family. He automatically went into he's Irish, he don't deserve it. Let's talk about this. You got 2 people speaking about reparations, and academics is to tether his goddamn self. This is what's going on in the era, y'all. This is politics right here in the United States of America. Politics right here in the United States of America. This is what we're dealing with. You're dealing with somebody who's a Caribbean guy who's anti-foundational Black American, and he's asking the president's son about reparations that affects foundational Black Americans. This is why we sitting out the election. This is why we sitting on the couch. They want to play these political games. We're going to show them how we get down. Foundational Black Americans are not even a part of the conversation. Joe Biden has a whole State of the Union address, does not address us. Then he says migrants built America. You're either going to get migrants from the Democrats or you're going to get straight up hell no's from the Republicans. And they got a tether speaking on reparations right here. Let me show y'all one more time. Immediately, he goes into the Irish.
And people always wait for some type of, hey, listen, if people are getting either paychecks or what's supposedly due to them, what about African Americans and reparations?
Yeah, listen, I'm not generally, I think it's you see the stuff going on in California, and it's like, well, if we took 10x the California budget, I'm like, what? Like, I look at, me, do I pay into this? Like, my grandparents came here in 1906. We were never.
I think the idea is that African Americans built the country. So anybody who even are even a
damn right you pay. You pay as an Irish and you pay as a Caribbean, because you would not be here if it wasn't for my foundational Black American ancestors. You goddamn right. And think about this as well, family. You literally got academic trying to act like he is the academic on reparations. Neither one of these people have anything to do. And by the way, Donald Trump Jr., what political office does he hold? We are in the position where these political groups are providing us nothing to the degree that DJ Academic is out here trying to stomp for reparations. And he is a Caribbean who really hates FBA and don't want us to get reparations. But he's pretending that he's on the question, and Donald Trump Jr. is speaking about it. Hail to the no.
Good should pay into the people who are the ancestors that helped build the foundation, and those direct descendants of those ancestors somehow, which obviously wouldn't be me.
Yeah,
by the way,
I get the concept. I'm sort of, I'm not long these.
Look how he just cut him off. Look at his whole body language, Donald Trump Jr. Look at his whole body language. His whole body language is, man, I don't give a damn.
That helped build the foundation, and those direct descendants.
Notice he said foundation. Notice he said foundation. And he said help build the foundation. Ain't nobody help build the foundation. We built it by ourselves from scratch. And notice how Donald Trump Jr. jumps in real quick. It's like, no. So he went from the Irish to San Francisco reparations, and now he's going back to the Irish again. And DJ Academic is the one talking about it. This is politics in 2024, y'all. This is what we've been getting for 60 years of voting. We've been voting for 60 years for in the year 2024, where they're trying to replace us and erase us. We got a goddamn hip-hop Caribbean tether speaking on our reparations to Donald Trump's son. It ain't even Donald Trump. They're talking to his kid. This is what you got for 60 years of voting? And then they tell us we need to go red, we need to go blue. Y'all wrong for sitting out the election. Your ancestors died and you didn't have the right to vote. Hail to the no. Regulate time.
Anything good should pay into the people who are the ancestors that helped build the foundation, and those direct descendants of those ancestors somehow, which obviously wouldn't be me.
Yeah,
by the way,
I get the concept. I'm sort of, I'm not long these concepts.
Look how he said it obviously wouldn't be me. Now remember, y'all, he was running around here for the last 2 years trying to speak on reparations like he qualified. Remember, DJ Academic was running around here speaking on reparations as if it applied to him. It took our brother Tariq Nasheed to G-check him and tell him, no, you don't. And then now he says, oh, well, it obviously don't apply to me. No, Had we not G-checked you, you would have went right along with it. Remember, fam, there's power in G-checking, because if you don't say nothing, they ain't gonna say nothing. He'd have been right in the front line with his hand out trying to get reparations. And now he knows that he bet not.
Which obviously wouldn't be me, by the way.
I get the concept. I'm sort of, I'm not long these concepts because I think they're too complicated. I think they get taken too advantage of. I think, when you see some of the numbers that are being thrown around, it's like mind blowing.
Like Bernie had said, he had mentioned that too. Like he was like,
California's like, it's like $30 trillion and we can be fine. I'm like, wait a minute.
I said it's complicated. It's complicated. It's complicated. That's what he just said. And the numbers are getting thrown around. Family, this sounds like a no. A no. I don't support reparations, and you don't support reparations, and nobody should.
Let's say. So, I don't know. I think it's one of these things, obviously, a disgusting and terrible time in our country. But I don't know how you do that reasonably, logically, equitably.
Boom. Last word. Listen to what he says. Listen to the words carefully. I don't know how you do it reasonably, logically, or equitably. Listen, that right there translates to a no.
In our country, but I don't know how you do that reasonably, logically, equitably.
Boom, boom, boom. That part. That right there is Donald Trump's reparations plan. Trust me, if the son is saying it, daddy's saying it. It's the same thing. The only difference is we ain't heard Trump bring up reparations because don't nobody ask him for reparations. They too busy trying to get a damn milkshake. Who is asking any of these people questions about politics? Who? Nobody is asking any of these people. These folks literally go around comfortable as hell. They spoiled. They know they don't have to say nothing to foundational Black Americans. You show up to a church, they want to sing a goddamn song. You show up to a goddamn restaurant, they want to give you some fried chicken. Nobody is talking about tangibles, benefits, or policies. They're not talking about it. So Donald Trump, he can run for president, go around the whole goddamn country and never hear about reparations one time. And the time that reparations comes up, it's a goddamn Caribbean tether speaking to his son. That right there is the closest we've heard Donald Trump speak about reparations. That's the closest. This man is running for president for the second time. Mind you, Trump has already been president. This is the second time he's ran for office, and the closest thing you can get to reparations and his official reparations position is his son talking to a damn hip-hop DJ who's from the Caribbean. So a bunch of people who do not qualify for reparations are speaking on reparations. That right there is what we've been getting. Nah, ain't no, let me tell you this. Ain't gonna be no goddamn voting red. Ain't gonna be no goddamn voting blue. Nope. That right there, who's got my vote, got your vote, got all of our vote. That whole thing right there was pathetic. That whole thing was disgusting. That is exactly what we talk about. These folks literally don't give a damn about foundational Black Americans. These folks literally dodge the reparations question every which way they can. These folks dodge the reparations conversation every which way that is possible. So the very fact that they believe that foundational Black Americans are going to literally sit back and just allow that to happen. Because don't get it twisted, y'all. Years ago, the other generations would have let that slide. Oh, yeah. We the only ones out here putting real pressure on these people. Just us. Just us. Because if we don't say something, nobody is, y'all. Nobody is. So notice how he went immediately to the Irish thing. And y'all know we're very familiar with that. We hear that all the time. That's an old one. That's what I'm saying. They out here using the excuses that we hear on Twitter Spaces. Donald Trump is anti-reparations. Joe Biden is anti-reparations. And if we say no reparations, no vote, then that means should nobody be running around here talking about voting for both of them. So that's the one where his son was talking about reparations. I told y'all we got evidence. Look at this tweet that we found. This tweet came out a few years ago. I want y'all to see this tweet right here, okay? This is one of the only other times that reparations came up. This came from a guy named Jerry Falwell. Donald Trump retweeted this right here. Donald Trump said this, or the guy wrote this. He said, after the best week ever for President Donald Trump, no obstruction, no collusion. Y'all remember the whole collusion case? Y'all remember that, right? When they kept talking about collusion with Donald Trump in the first election, okay? This guy said, no obstruction, no collusion. NYT admits Barack Obama did spy on his campaign and the economy is soaring. I now support reparations. Trump should have 2 years added to his first term as a payback for time stolen by this corrupt failed coup. One more time for your mind. I now support reparations. Trump should have 2 years added to his first term as payback. Pay money for time stolen by this corrupt failed coup. Family, that came from Donald Trump's partner, one of his Republican friends. Donald Trump not only seen it, Donald Trump retweeted that. That is the only 3 times that we have documentation of Donald Trump speaking about reparations. The man has never addressed reparations specifically. We out here talking about Donald Trump, and we talking about what's his plan. Well, we got to see that he has no reparations plan. And you know what, family? If you don't have a reparations plan, that means you're anti-reparations. That man said, notice the guy said, I now support reparations. Basically spitting in our face. I now support it, which means I did not support it when it's for Black people, but I support reparations when it's for Donald Trump, who had some issues with the Democrats. And Donald Trump, he pulled out the phone and he retweeted that. Donald Trump ain't never retweeted anything about reparations for foundational Black Americans. Donald Trump ain't never spoke on reparations for foundational Black Americans. But goddamn it, when it came to him speaking on that, family, you got it right there, live and in living color. This goes to show you again, these people are all anti-foundational Black American, and they would rather get reparations for Donald Trump than to get reparations for us. Look at that. We're talking about reparations for Donald Trump. We're not talking about reparations for FBA. We're talking about Donald Trump getting reparations. That ain't it. Here's another one. Okay, so I done showed y'all the two. Here's the three. Here's another time that he mentioned reparations. Yes, indeed. But look at this one right here. They know what the word reparations is. They know exactly what reparations is. Don't let these people talk. What his son say? Oh, it's complicated. It's funny because if that's complicated, look at this right here, y'all. Tell me, is this complicated?
The time has come for America and the world to demand reparations and accountability from reparations and accountability reparations and accountability from the Communist Party of China.
Whoa! Hold up. Wait a minute. He said it's time for the world to get reparations. So he knows the word. Okay. And you thought he about to say reparations for foundational Black Americans. Y'all know the people who created the term reparations. The only people who are deserving of reparations. You would think he about to say reparations for us. This man said reparations for the world against China. So we have reparations for himself and we have reparations from China, but no reparations for foundational Black Americans. Just, milkshakes. That part, that part, that part. Using our own talking points back against us.
And accountability from the Communist Party of China. We should all declare within one unified voice that China must pay. They must pay. The United States should immediately take steps to phase in a firm. The time is coming.
Family. You see right there, the man is talking about reparations. But you see, it's not reparations for us. Now, didn't his son just say that reparations is very, very complicated? Let me proceed.
Come from America and the world to demand reparations and accountability from the Communist Party of China.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. You see that right there. Oh, we ain't done. No. Receipts for days. Receipts for days. Big time. Check this out right here, y'all. Check this out right here. So remember just a minute ago. So, all right, you got reparations for China. You got reparations for himself. Nobody said nothing about reparations for foundational Black Americans. All right, cool. Got that. All right, cool. Moving on. Right. Sweet. But I want y'all to notice, didn't his son say that reparations was a complicated thing? Didn't his son say that reparations in the form of a couple $1 trillion is asking for too much? It's crazy. That's what his son said, right? Look, when Donald Trump goes a little further about reparations, you see that they start talking about reparations far more than what we were asking for. Oh, Trump didn't just speak on reparations. He went on a whole campaign about reparations, just not for us.
Pushed very hard. Yeah. You said that the Chinese owe, or China, not the Chinese people, but the Chinese Communist government, owe the rest of us reparations. This is the argument that you've pushed.
They do.
And you've made.
By the way, they can never pay. The number is $50 to $60 trillion. They can.
Whoa, $50 to $60 trillion. I thought reparations was complicated. I thought $20-30 trillion was too damn much. This man just sat there and said that they deserve reparations, and he gave a number. So let's get it right. Donald Trump does have a reparations plan, y'all. Donald Trump actually has a reparations plan. We just found something out right here on the Black Alpha Network tonight with all my beautiful certifieds in the room. Donald Trump does have a reparations plan. It's just reparations for himself. It's reparations from China. And he actually has a number. He actually has a dollar sign. He wants 50 to 60 trillion dollars from reparations money coming from China. But when it comes to reparations money for us, Donald Trump Sr. doesn't even talk about it. And Donald Trump Jr. said it's too complicated and the money costs too much. I don't see complicated right there when you say you want it from China. And I don't see too much when he said 50 to 60 trillion. It's funny how our 20 trillion is too much, but they 60 trillion is right on back. They ain't got no reparations plan for us because these people are anti-foundational Black American and they're anti-foundational Black American reparations. The only difference between everybody else and us certified Black society, we calling it out. Proceed. Look at that right there, y'all. That is Donald Trump one more time for the whole world. This is what you're going to get right here on the Black Alpha Network. Exclusives. I said I had the receipts about Donald Trump's reparations. Here you go.
You've pushed very hard.
Yeah.
You said that the Chinese owe or China, not the Chinese people, but the Chinese argument that you've pushed and you've made.
By the way, they can never pay. The number is 50 to 60 trillion dollars. They can never pay that. Nobody can. You could
boom
have 10 Chinas. They couldn't pay it.
That part. So family, let's get this straight. These folks are anti-reparations, but not only are they anti-reparations, sounds like they are pro-reparations for everybody else except for us. And what do you get when you deal with these people, family? You get excuse after excuse after excuse. This is why we've been regulating and calling them out step for step. This is why when people talk about going red, you ain't gonna get no reparation. If somebody's out here talking about they gonna go red, then trust and believe, y'all, they don't want no damn reparations money. That's what it is. Go red means I don't want reparations. How do you know go red means no reparations? Because nobody who wears red is supporting reparations for us. Simple and plain. We're going to do what Brother Malcolm X said. We're going to make it plain. Well, there we go. We're making it plain. That's it right there. And you're right. Yeah, good point, good point, good point. Ain't it funny how 50 to 60 trillion dollars, that worked good for us. How come you got 50, 60 trillion dollars you're trying to demand from somebody else, though? Ain't it funny how? This is what they do. They got all of the excuses, but they ain't got no reasons behind what they say. They just basically come up with the anti-foundational Black American position, and then they run with it. That's why foundational Black Americans in this generation have been calling them out, and it will not stop. This is why everything is different in this generation than it was before in the previous generations. So yeah, that's what the reparations plan is with Donald Trump. We broke that down. Now, family, as we speak about reparations from Trump, that's when he spoke about reparations from China. I showed y'all what he retweeted about reparations for his goddamn self. Let's actually see what happened when he was talked about reparations for us. Because there was one goddamn time. Now, it's sad that reparations is the biggest policy in the United States of America. Reparations is the most influential policy in the United States of America. And the guy who's running for president for the second time has only spoke about it once. Look at this right here, y'all. Check this out. Here we go. This is how Donald Trump feels about reparations for foundational Black Americans. I gave you the first time and the second time. Let's look at the third. Exclusive. Trump on reparations. I don't see it happening. Here we go. Remember how I said his son tried to say reparations was complicated and the price tag was too high? All right. Let's proceed. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. President Donald Trump on Monday. President Donald Trump on Monday said he doesn't believe the federal government will pursue reparations for descendants of slaves. One more time, just in case they missed it. President Trump, no, we don't need none of that. Hold on, y'all. We're going to get that up off here. There we go. President Trump on Monday said he does not believe reparations for the federal government will pursue. They will not pursue it for the descendants of slaves, an idea that has gained traction among some Democrats. First off, no, they haven't. We got to stop this thing where the Democrats make it look like they're the ones who've been pushing for reparations. No, they're not. No, they're not at all. The Democrats don't want you to have reparations just as much as the Republicans don't want you to have reparations. Don't let either one of these groups pretend to be advocates. Check this out. The House Judiciary Committee held the first hearings on this issue in a decade earlier this month, and a handful of Democratic presidential candidates seeking to challenge Trump in 2020 have been broached on the idea. I think it's a very unusual thing Trump said of the possibility of reparations. You have a lot of, then he froze. It's been very interesting debate. I don't see it happening. No. One more time. Let me put that in big freeze frame right here. Here we go. I'm going to make that big for everybody. Check this out. This is Donald Trump's position on reparations right there. I think it's a very unusual thing Trump said on the possibility of reparations. You have a lot of ... It's been a very interesting debate. I don't see it happening. No. That's what Donald Trump said when he was pressed on reparations. He don't see it happening. And then he said no. Mind you, his son said the same exact thing 3 years later. So when I say that if the son has an anti-reparations position, so does his father, that's absolutely accurate. Why? Because they said the same damn thing. They both said it's over. His son said that it's complicated, and he said that it's unusual. They said the same exact thing. But it's funny, they're willing to get money from everybody else. They're willing to ask for trillions of dollars from this group, that group, in the block around the corner. But when it comes to us, boom. So right there, this is when Trump was the president. This ain't coming from Trump, who wants to be president. This is what Trump said while he was the actual sitting president. I think it's a very unusual thing Trump Sr. said. It's a very complicated thing Trump Jr. said. You have a lot of, it's a very interesting debate. I don't see it happening. No. Donald Trump does not support reparations for foundational Black Americans. So it's two things. Either it's no reparations, no vote, or it's, okay, no reparations. What else you got for me? A milkshake? You got a milkshake for me? Okay, I might come in. Oh, nope. What else you got? I'm going to tell you what. I'll take some fried chicken. Nope, you ain't got that either? Okay. Well, goddamn it, I don't know what then. All right? So these people running around, and we got to be very cautious of this, family. There's a lot of people who are using our lack of dealings with the Democrats as a means to get us to go vote for the Republicans, which basically is plantation hopping, because we can look at the policies and see that we have zero. There are none. Family, there's not one, there's not two, there's not three. There are no at all policies that are being presented. The election is 6 months away, and we have no policies being presented to us from the Democrats nor the Republicans. Nobody can show you any. So who you going to vote for? Are you going to vote for this group that has no policies for you, that group that has no policies for you, or you going to vote for the couch that's going to be there for you? I'm all for the couch. Why am I there for the couch, family? It's because we know exactly what we're going to get from him. The couch is going to be good. We're going to be right where we need to be when it comes to the couch. Everybody else, you just running in circles. And we don't ran in circles for too long when you start dealing with politics. So you got these people running around here really trying to get us on board with the Republican Party. But in reality, fam, it's the same exact thing that you're getting when you deal with the Democrats. These folks are not out here to support foundational Black Americans. What they do, they're very slick, though, family. They're very slick. You got to watch them, because what they'll do is they'll just start pointing the finger back. They play what they say supremacist hot potato, right? They'll jump over here and say them. Oh, no, them. No, they're them. And then Black folks get caught in the game. Don't ever get caught in this game of conservative versus liberal, Democrat versus Republican, because it's just supremacists on supremacists. And you end up with the same exact thing. If you got this person on this side of the house who's pretending to be your friend, you got this person pretending to be your friend, then it flips. See, back in the old days, like Brother Malcolm X used to talk about, it was the person who came around with a bite and a smile versus the one who comes with a bite in the ground. Notice, supremacy is starting to change now. Supremacy is starting to get to the point where they all play like they're our friend. There used to be a time where the Republicans used to be like our open enemy. They had the overt supremacy, and then the Democrats had covert supremacy. It's not like that anymore. It's not like that. I predicted this 5 years ago on one of my old episodes about 3.5 years ago. I spoke on it. I said, we're going to get to the point, the more we get on code, where the dominant society, they're going to abandon overt supremacy. The Republican used to just be out in the open. I don't give a damn. Y'all ain't getting nothing. And then the Democrat would play the good cop. The good cop, bad cop starting to go away. You're not really seeing the good cop, bad cop no more. Now you're just seeing a bunch of good cops. All right. They're both coming around trying to be your friend. So we got to prepare ourselves for that. One thing we always do right here on the Black Alpha Network, we always looking at all the nuances and all the details. You got to always see beyond the surface. You got to see the roots of the situation. If you can understand the nuances of supremacy, then you can combat supremacy. If you cannot understand the nuances and the details and you can't see behind that curtain, you're going to struggle. And one thing we always do, we break it down. So when we see a tether come up and they start acting like an FBA, that's a little nuance that you may not catch it unless you certify. If you see somebody pop up who's a Republican and they say, come on over here, we'll support you away from Joe Biden, that's a nuance and a detail you may not catch. We catch all of that, and we see exactly what they're doing. And family, one of the main things they do, they start dealing with what I said before. You got the moistocrats. Yeah, the moistocrats. What's a moistocrat? That's a moist-ass Democrat. And y'all know the Democrats love their Starburst and their Skittles. But now you're starting to see some moister Republicans. And they're popping up. I'm telling you, supremacy is starting to look identical. Why is supremacy all of a sudden starting to look identical? Why is it getting less and less overt and more covert? The reason being is because foundational Black Americans are on code. They can't fool us no more. We see it coming. We know the person who's out in the open. We know the person who's trying to hide it. And now we're calling them both out. So the Republicans, they're starting to adapt the same energy and the same tactics that the Democrats have. The conservative is starting to adapt the same ones that the liberal has. And we're calling them all out. That's why the only answer in the system of supremacy is see beyond the liberal, see beyond the conservative, the Democrat, the Republican, see beyond going red, see beyond going blue, and only focus on supremacy. When you focus on supremacy, you got all the answers. You go to the front of the line. Look at this right here, y'all. This right here is another Republican moisture, okay? You got these moist Republicans coming out. He look moist as hell, don't he? Okay. The same way you had all the Democrats that was running around here talking about all of the vote for this and vote for them. Watch this right here. You got the same ones coming out now, family. Watch this.
I'm done defending why I'm a conservative because y'all are literally using litter boxes to take a shit. Now walk with me. So let's play along and say that I should be listening to the left. To start, I would be eating bugs, not drinking Air One. Actually, first of all, I'm Xavier, and my pronouns are they, them, because I haven't decided my gender yet today. But now back to Air One, because I... I should have protested. As the descendant of slaves, this should have been free from the white people born 200 years later. Next time, I'll just go to a colored only, black only smoothie shop. Anyways, this was fun, but I need to go get my 10th vaccine. Then I'm going to spend my day questioning how the gender pay gap is real since gender isn't real. But I'm a socialist anyway, so really, I just want everyone to be as broke and miserable as me.
I'll be damned. Okay, you got all these people come from all these different eras. Gotcha, family. StreamYard is on some whole other stuff, but that's all good. You see this right here, family? They're coming from every aspect, every angle, all the report, all of the moistocrats. Now they got moist
Prejudice
Republicans.
towards white people 100% exists. Like whether it's in TV, if it's in movies, like if you watch predominantly black media, there's a lot of roasting towards white people that if it was the other way around, that would never be acceptable.
Notice, family, the first thing they start doing, they start talking about us. They start talking about foundational Black Americans. This guy comes out and he starts caping for the dominant society. And he starts saying how foundational Black Americans are the bad ones. This is what they do all the time, y'all. This goes to show you, again, that we are out here operating in our own playing field, and these people are on the same type of time. Who would have thought, family, things would be different? It ain't going to be different. This guy right here is the same typical main one, and we see it right here across the board. Checkmate. How I sound now? Y'all can hear me? I hope y'all can hear me, man, because StreamYard be doing some funny style stuff. You'll hit something, and then it'll click it right back. So you got to keep your eye on it the whole time. I hope y'all can hear me. Check this out right here, though, family. This is who he's been mobbing with. Okay, sound good? All right, G-check. Appreciate it. Here we go. This is it right here. Look who he's been hanging out with, y'all. Boom. This is what we saying. They always will go and recruit somebody from that particular community, y'all. And when they go get that person from that community, the first thing that person from that community does is they start talking about FBA. That's the first goddamn thing they got to do. This is just what's in the nature because they're all paid to do it. If you go and you speak on foundational Black Americans, oh, they got a place for you. They got a place for you. You can come on in straight up and down, and you got a place. You got a home. There's always a home. So this guy right here, this is the moist, the very, very moist Republican, okay? Now, y'all know the very, very, y'all seen this one right here, this moistocrat. What would it be without a moistocrat? Look how they're using both of them from both sides of the fence, y'all. Look at this right here. Y'all know damn well it gets real shady out here in these streets. Hold up. It get real shady out here in these streets, y'all, when you start dealing with these people. So not only do you have the moistocrats running around here, you got the moist Republicans, and what's the one thing they all got in common, y'all? The one thing they all got in common is that they talk about foundational Black Americans. Y'all seen this one right here, right? Y'all seen this one running around. He's also mad at Stephen A. Smith. And they running the same thing, but nobody's talking tangibles.
Stephen A. Smith has lost his mind just like he lost his hairline. What the fuck is he talking about?
But I got to tell you something. As much as people may have been abhorred by Donald Trump's statement weeks ago, talking about how Black folks, he's hearing that Black folks find him relatable because what he's that happened throughout society.
And listen to what the fuck they're saying. They are perpetuating white supremacy. Just recently, Charlemagne, he just went after DEI, talking about, oh, well, it's stupid, it's trash, knowing that DEI is a precursor. We just saw them overrule affirmative action where they're not trying to put people in places that need equity and inclusion and diversity. How can you just recently go on Joy Reid's show talking about how you want to see upward mobility and you want to see Black people in positions where we can build our wealth, but yet when they don't let us in the room, how the fuck are we supposed to build our wealth? Out of what? Out of nothing?
Family, so we look like we end up having now, there's a moist civil war going on. You got the moist Republicans and you got the moist Democrats. And neither one of them are talking. Y'all notice all the moist ones are always Black. They don't ever have any moist people from any other community. They always go get these Black folks who are moist. And they go back and forth and just say a whole bunch of nothing. Right? That's what they be doing. That's moist number one right there. Okay. And then right here again, this is moist number two. And when you start dealing with these people, you already know the type of time and energy they on. They're going to say the same exact thing. They're going to cape for whatever party they're a part of for the moment. And foundational Black Americans know exactly the type of time they on. Those are the two moist ones, and they're always Black folks. And this is why we've been calling them out from the jump, from the giddy up, from the start. It's always the same. What has changed in this election, y'all? The only thing that has changed or will change is that foundational Black Americans are not falling for the okie doke. You're going to always have the tap dancers, but family, we done ran them out the paint so far, there ain't really nothing left for them to do. All right. We, at this point, at this stage, we are the ones who are really focused on getting real benefit of what we do, getting real tangibles. Nobody's talking tangibles. Nobody's talking benefits. You know that dude moist as hell, by the way. Extremely, extremely, extremely. But that's what they got. So family, they're to the point where they're recruiting all these different people from all these different backgrounds, and every last one of them has the same mentality of being anti-foundational Black American. Why are they all anti-foundational Black American, family? Because we're on code and we got things going right now. But speaking of reparations, I want y'all to see this. They got this BUSSY civil war going on in these two parties. You got the two good cops now all of a sudden. But when we say Donald Trump never really brought up reparations, one of the things that he has done is he supported people who want reparations for the dominant society. Yeah, it ain't just that. Mind you, his son said about the Irish, yep. He said he wants them from China, yep. He said he wants it for himself. He said he doesn't expect it happening for us. But did you guys see this right here? Donald Trump actually supports candidates that want reparations for W's. Yes. Look at this guy right here, Bernie Moreno. This is a senator out of Ohio. Watch how this guy says he wants reparations for the dominant society. And Trump is sitting there right next to him. So that shows you again, Trump ain't really about reparations for us. He about reparations for everybody else.
First champion, Bernie Moreno, to the U.S. Senate. And Bernie, if I could, I'd like to have you come up and say a few words, please. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Republican nominee for 2024 and the future 47th President of the United States of America. You know, I want to clear something up. I want to clear something up for everybody here. I am so sick and tired of Republicans that will say, I support President Trump's policies, but I don't like the man. This is a good man. This is a great American. This man wakes up every day fighting for us, fighting for this country. He loves this country like no other leader of this nation has ever loved this country.
Okay, now that same exact person right there, I want y'all to see how he says he believes they should get reparations for W's in the Civil War. That's who Trump hangs with. Reparations for the Civil War, reparations against China, reparations for himself, but our reparations is too complicated.
Think of what were the people that came before us. And we stand on the shoulders of giants, don't we? We stand on the shoulders of people like John Adams and James Madison, and Alexander Hamilton and George Washington. That this group of people that took on the largest empire in history and said, no, we will not stand for this, and won. That same group of people later, white people, died to free black people. It's never happened in human history before that happened here in America. That's not talked about in schools very much, is it? They make it sound like America is a racist, broken country. You name a country that did that freed slaves, died to do that. You know, they talk about reparations. What are the reparations for the people in the North who died to save the lives of black people?
Whoa, they talk about reparations. What about reparations for W's who saved black people?
You name a country that did that freed slaves, died to do that. You know, they talk about reparations. What are the reparations for the people in the North who died to save the lives of black people? That's right. And I know it's not politically correct to say that, but you know what? We got to stop being politically correct. We got to call it like it is.
That right there, y'all, that's the Republican stance on reparations. The Republicans are anti-reparations just like the Democrats are. We done already spent a whole election cycle exposing the Democrats. We exposed the Republicans as well. They don't want them. Remember, soon as reparations came up to Donald Trump's son, he gave the same answer that his father would have gave. He said, well, I'm Irish. Who pays anyway? Okay, this is too complicated. What are we going to do about this? It's the same talking points that we hear all the damn time. And notice, family, that guy said reparations for W's. And then a few weeks later, he on the stage with Donald Trump and they sitting there hugging and holding hands. So it goes to show you off rip. Donald Trump is completely okay with that. And it's the same talking point that we've always exposed, and we will continue to expose it. This is something that they've been running with out there in the streets, fam. I want y'all to see this. Look at this right here, y'all. Look at this. This is something that's out there a lot of people don't know about. Look at this. Every son and daughter of the Irish in America and Ireland need reparations. Look at this. This is out there in the streets. This is what Donald Trump Jr. is talking about. This is what Donald Trump Jr. is talking about. What about the Irish? Notice how they took our black power fist and then they threw up, what about the Irish on top of it? One of the biggest talking points, and we done heard them all, is, well, what about reparations for the Irish and the Italians? That's one of the main things that they always run on us whenever they're trying to distract us off reparations. And I'd be damned if Donald Trump Jr. didn't do the same exact thing. You see what we saying, y'all? And if Donald Trump Jr.'s thinking it, Donald Trump Sr.'s thinking it. They are not about reparations for foundational Black Americans. Where that talking point come from? Where that talking point come from? It must have came from a certain place, because we see that they've been running that game on us the whole damn time. So when these people run around here and they start talking about reparations, be very careful on what politician you speaking of, because these politicians know damn well that when we get our reparations money and foundational Black Americans get that bag, it's going to be a whole different game. A game that they're not ready for, a game that they're not equipped for, but a game they're going to have to deal with. So that's why foundationals have been on point as always, y'all. So that's what they running with. This is what they've been saying. That picture right there is exactly what Donald Trump Jr. said. I came here as an Irish. And mind you, whenever somebody says they came here and they were Irish, they're going to hit you with, well, we were slaves too. And then they're going to hit you with, I'm not paying because I was a slave. And then they're going to hit you with, well, how about no reparations for anybody except for us? This is what they've been doing. So when you see Donald Trump's reparations plan, he ain't got one, not for foundational Black Americans. When you see Donald Trump Jr.'s, it's what about the Irish? When you see the Moistocrat and the Moisture Republican going at it, it's about everything other than reparations. So what does that leave you with as a certified foundational Black American? It leaves you with what we've been talking about, the couch. And that's the best part about the whole game. That's the best part about everything. And while they're out there doing that, y'all, this is what's happening with all that money they can't find. U.S. House approves $60.8 billion in aid for Ukraine, $26.4 billion for Israel, and $8 billion for Taiwan. Did you hear any of the Trumps saying that that was too much? Now, mind you, the same people that are giving the money are the opponents from Donald Trump. So Donald Trump's going against Joe Biden, but he's not out here talking about the trillions of dollars. For us, what it is too complicated. For everybody else, it's easy. That ain't going to work no more. That ain't going to work. That's not what we standing on. We in a different time and a different generation, y'all. This generation, we can't have that. That's the reparations money right there. And how many times are we going to point out the hypocrisies? The hypocrisies are clear. They sit there and they talk about reparations, and then we sit back and we watch them methodically pass off dollar after dollar to everyone except for foundational Black Americans. They pass it off left and right. While foundational Black Americans, we're sitting here and we're not receiving anything. The money's going everywhere else. We are no longer accepting. We don't know where the money's going to come from. We are no longer accepting it's too complicated. We're no longer accepting it's unusual. And we're definitely not accepting these actors and actresses who come around and they speak on our behalf. Family, there's a whole lot of people running around here trying to run game on us. All of them are. And you got a lot of these people who are speaking on foundational Black Americans, and they ain't got no business, but they're trying to sway us in a certain direction. Did y'all see John Legend on there talking about Donald Trump? Look at John Legend right here, y'all. And John Legend is sitting there trying to do the same thing. He's basically out here trying to scare Black folks away from Donald Trump over to Joe Biden. And then they'll try to scare you from Joe Biden back to Donald Trump, because the main thing supremacy wants you to do is hop from plantation to plantation.
He's made it clear throughout his life that he believes Black people are inferior. Like he believes that to his core, in his bones. He wouldn't let us live in his buildings back in the day. But also, when you hear some of the stray comments he makes, he clearly believes in a genetic hierarchy of humanity and is racially determined. So he is a tried and true, like dyed in the wool racist. Like in the core of his being, he's a racist. So I don't want to hear what he has to say about what he's done for Black people. He's done very little for us. And he is at his core truly a racist. And
you can say that same thing about Joe Biden. You can say the same thing. Joe Biden hasn't done nothing for black people. And Joe Biden has a plethora of far more racist statements towards black Americans. The goal of supremacy, y'all, and it's becoming evidently clear in this election. The goal of supremacy, y'all, is literally to keep us on one of the other plantations. That's really what it's coming down to. They are out here trying to get foundational black Americans to jump from one plantation to the other. That's what it is. Now we see the game. Now we see the way it's operating. Now we see the way it's functioning, y'all. Let's talk about it. What we're seeing now, it's clear. The dominant society realizes that they can't keep us on the Democratic plantation because we have canceled and dismantled the Democratic plantation. Now you see all these people, including a lot of black folks, blacks for Trumps, who are trying to get us to go to the Republican plantation. And there's a backdoor deal, an understanding of informal and formal agreement with the Republican and the Democratic Party, and that's to keep us on one of the other plantations. What's the best thing and the thing that is the most beneficial to the supremacists? That's to keep us on this plantation or this plantation. Us going back and forth, that's really what they want. See, us staying on one, that's good. See, black folks only voting Democrat, that's good for the supremacist Democrat. Black folks only voting Republican, that's good for the supremacist Republican. But the goal that benefits both of them is to keep us on one of those plantations. You'll be surprised. The Democrats and Republicans, they both agree and they both become best friends when it comes to black folks going to be on somebody's plantation. They don't mind that. They'll fight over which one gets to stay on their plantation, but they'll both agree that we got to be on one of those plantations. If you say blacks got to be over here or blacks got to be over there, they'll have a little disagreement. They'll go back and forth for a little bit, but they both have the ultimate goal and they'll shake hands and agree on, I'll tell you what, Billy Bob, we got to make sure they stay on one plantation. If they're on your plantation, I may not like that. It may upset me, but okay. If they on your plantation, okay, I can live with that. But we got to make sure they stay on one or the other. The ultimate goal of supremacy is to keep black folks on one of those two plantations, whether that be Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative, red, or blue. And they may fight amongst each other about which side you're going to be on, but quietly, trust me, behind closed doors, when the camera quit rolling, they shaking hands and agreeing that it's in their best interest that we stay on one or the other plantation. They'll agree that black Americans got to be on a plantation. Everything else is just water under the bridge. That's the type of time they on. And now we know that, fam. Now we know that. This is what we on, y'all. This is what we understand. This is what we popping. Appreciate that, brother. This is what we on. Foundational black Americans, we see it. What I say, it's all about the nuance. It's all about the details. Right here on the Black Alpha Network, smash that like button. What we do, y'all, is that we break it down to the details and the nuances, the things that they won't say. The dominant society is always going to show you what's on the surface, so you don't have to look underneath. The roots are going to be where the answer's at. They're always going to show you what's in front. You got to peel the veil to see what's really going on in the back. So you see a lot of this going on. And this is why we break down that they recruit all these different people. This is why we break down they throw tethers in there. They know how to bring people in and bring them out. They know how to twist it up. This game has gotten very, very twisted. You got a whole lot of things going on, and only the intelligent will survive. People who are thorough, people who are certified. This is why we got to stay certified. That's why we got to stay a part of the certified 100, because if you certified, you know the way the game is played. You know exactly what they're trying to do. You know exactly the way they push it. And I seen somebody say this in the chat, and yes, you're absolutely right. I did see this. But for those who did not, did y'all see them literally waving the Ukrainian flag on the damn floor of the House? Look at this. Now, after they got all them billions of dollars that they say they can't find for us, look what you seen when the Ukrainians got that money. It goes to show you again, family, we in a different time field.
On this vote, the ayes are 311 and the nays are 112. The bill is passed. The House will be in order. The chair would remind my colleagues to observe proper decorum. Flag waving on the floor is not appropriate. The House will be in order.
Freeze. Hold up. Since I am the gentleman, I am the gentleman, I am definitely. I am sorry, my sister. I did not know. Zero gravity. I didn't know which one that was. I just went with it. Okay. Much appreciation, my sister. Much appreciation. Yes. Proceed.
On this vote, the ayes are 311 and the nays are 112. The bill is passed. The House will be in order. The chair would remind my colleagues to observe proper decorum. Flag waving on the floor is not appropriate. The House will be in order.
Сьогодні ми отримали рішення, якого очікували, про пакет американської підтримки, за який так ми боролися, і дуже вагомий пакет, який відчують і наші воїни.
This man said a very weighty package that will be felt by our soldiers.
На передовій.
On the front lines are cities and villages.
Наші міста і села, які потерпають.
What about the cities that foundational Black Americans built? What about the towns that we built? What about the country that we built? No money for us. They literally waving the Ukrainian flag on the floor of the House. You literally see Donald Trump saying he wants reparations for his goddamn self. None for us. We literally have two presidential candidates, which are the same ones having a rematch from 2020, and neither one of them have presented an iota of policies for foundational Black Americans. The political structure in the United States of America is geared to go against FBA. The whole damn system is geared to go against FBA. Don't let nobody tell you that participating in this system, playing it fair, will benefit you. If you play this system fair, you're going to lose. If you play this system by the way they tell you to play, you're going to lose. You know why they want you to play the system? Because they know that it's rigged against you. The reason why they want you to go vote, because they know they can use that against you. Everything they tell us to do is meant to go against us. So your answer to that is do the opposite of what they tell you to do. If what they tell you to do goes against you, then doing what you want to do goes against them. Let me say that one more time. If them telling you to do something works against yourself, then you doing the opposite of that works for you and hurts them. And that's what we're on. That's why we say vote couch. A lot of people are out here and they get upset at that. They don't want to hear that. No vote, no reparations, no tangibles. That's something that rubs people wrong. Because for 60 years, we've been voting and getting not a damn thing. We've been going out here doing it. See, a lot of Black folks, they just go through the motions. They just out here going through the motions. You get up, you go to work, you vote. You get up, you go to work, you vote. We have been breaking the system. We've been breaking every single bad habit. And we've been inserting new habits, clean, fresh habits that benefit us. It's one thing to sit here and talk about Black empowerment, but how do you actually get it? How do you necessitate Black empowerment? You do it by doing the opposite of what the supremacists tell you to do. And foundational Black Americans have been moving on that type of time and energy right now in this generation. I had told everybody that voting for the couch was going to be the main thing that we could do. It hurts the Democrats and it hurts the Republicans. And guess what? Voting for them hurts you. So now, foundational Black Americans, we've seen it. We understand where it's going. We're coming to get our check. And the way we're coming to get our check is by doing it the FBA way. The FBA way is not listening to all those other people, not following suit, doing what we know is best for our community because everybody else does. Everybody else does what's best for them. So how come we can't? They're waving the Ukrainian flag right there on the floor of the House. We put up an FBA flag. They're telling us to take it down. We sitting here seeing all these other people get billions of dollars. Foundational Black Americans ask for $1 million. They say, hold on now. That's too much now. But we built the country though. They're trying to tell us that the people who just got here last night are the people who built the country. How you built the country and you just got here last night? There's nothing they're saying that's real. Everything is capped. Everything is fake. They're running all these type of games on us. And we're getting it from all these different people. The tethers are out here trying to get a piece of what we got. The Democrats and the Republicans are trying to get a piece of it. And foundational Black Americans are not allowing it. This is why the game is shook. It's going into a very, very new era. If you judge this era right now, family, we're going into the next chapter, all right? We're closing the first chapter, and we're going into a new chapter of this generation. If you're a historian and you study sociology and the way the past has presented itself, y'all remember with the Civil Rights era, there was multiple chapters to the Civil Rights era. You go back to the civil rights era basically started in 1955. It's when brothers and sisters really got home from World War II and they seen the way they were treated. But if you remember, the first chapter of the civil rights era, y'all know when Martin Luther King was real skinny. He was super skinny. He had his little hat on, and brothers and sisters was dressing to impress. It looked like some Harlem Renaissance type stuff. That was the first chapter of the civil rights era. When you see the sit-ins and the buses and all that kind of stuff. Remember, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated in 1968, right? In Memphis, Tennessee. Malcolm X was assassinated in 1965 in Harlem. They didn't even make it to the 70s. The civil rights era is comprised of the late 50s, the 60s, and the 70s. What do you remember from the 70s, though? The 70s is when the game changed. The 70s brought in a whole different era. You're absolutely right. The reparations era. And I'm telling y'all right now, when I get on the stage in Washington, D.C., June 15th, I have a speech planned and prepared that is going to completely shut down any supremacist, any tether, any scam African, any Democrat, any Republican. They're going to feel that energy and heat all the way to the White House. That's the type of energy I'm bringing. And I'm going to mention that this is the reparations generation, the reparations era. You had 5. You had the indigenous era, right? You had slavery, you had Reconstruction, you had civil rights, and now we're in the reparations generation. That's what it is. And we're all a part of it. And that's the most beautiful thing, y'all. That is beautiful. It is the greatest time to be alive as a foundational Black American. And we are going into an era, y'all, that is so impactful. You can make the case that this year right here and next year are 2 of the top 5 important years ever in our existence because we're dealing with an erasure. And that's what creates separation from everything else. And we're going into a new chapter. Y'all remember a few years ago when the Black grassroots was really just starting to go? Y'all remember that, y'all? Y'all remember when we was getting into the new era where the new Black media was popping off? I've only been doing this for about 3 years. You feel me? And now we're starting to change. Things are going up a notch. We're starting to see differences. We're starting to see movement, right? Remember when a lot of things were pipe dreams. We were just in the Barack Obama era. So now, family, after we got out of the first era of the civil rights generation, then in the 70s, you started to see a change. There wasn't the sit-ins and the bus-ins. It wasn't the dressing to impress. The Martin and the Malcolms were the 60s. In the 70s, you start to see the black leather coats. You start to see them shotties. You start to see the afros. That's when you start to see the Black empowerment come. And that generation was different. Those folks said they're not going to take the same shit that their parents took. And it was different. This is what I'm talking about now. Doesn't it feel like we're going into the next chapter of this reparations generation, y'all? Doesn't it feel like we're moving into a whole new era? It is still the same energy. It's still the same focus and goal. But we done seen so much, y'all. The Joe Biden presidency is almost over. We remember just in 2020 with Kamala Harris running around here talking about Tupac and Snoop. Family, that's a whole cycle away. That is gone. That's a whole administration ago. We remember when Donald Trump won the presidency, and he was talking about he's going to embolden the police and all that. George Floyd has been gone for 4 years. Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, Rashard Brooks. That's 4 years ago. All these characters that popped up, Black Lives Matter, ran them out the paint. Okay? The Scam Master Jay ran them out the plane. He had one summer, gone. We've seen all the frauds pop up, all the fakes, all the ops, all the agents. We've seen us take a term like reparations. That was something people joked about. To now it's on the front stage to where on this episode right here, we can literally break down the reparations policy and we can put it in the face of all the presidential candidates. We took that term. We dusted it off. Now everybody wants reparations. We've seen people come out of the blue and say they created hip hop. Now we're going to see a phenomenal documentary that's going to put it into all of that. This is what we're saying. We've seen new people come. We've seen new activists. We've seen new pillars. We're going out of the 1950s and the 60s, and now we're going into the 70s, right? But even with that said, it's still not the same because we're different people and we're in a different time. But we have the luxury of learning from the mistakes that they made, right? It's one thing to understand the past. It's one thing to see the way it operates and to put it in a historical perspective about the way the generations move and the generations change. But always remember, fam, though there may be similarities, Though there may be different chapters, we are our own people. We are our own generation. We are our own era. And we are writing this story in foundational Black American handwriting. And our fingerprints are on everything. So just because we're from the same lineage don't mean that we'll go down the same path as them. Doesn't mean we'll make the same mistakes as them. Doesn't mean that we'll get the same gains as them. What we're going to do is going to be done by us. We stand on the shoulders of the civil rights era, of the Reconstruction era, of slavery, of the indigenous era. We stand on the shoulders of all of them, but we are different. We are moving different. This is a new time, and I'm telling you, this time is unlike any time before. So as I sit here and tell y'all that right now, in April, May, June, July, August, all the way till November, it is going to be a hell of a ride. And I am so excited to be a part of it with all of you guys, because we are the ones changing this. If you get the opportunity, fam, go put on a documentary. Go watch a documentary about the civil rights era. We got to see these things. These things are good. Go watch one about what went on with the civil rights era. Go watch those things. Go watch them. Go enjoy them. Get a good thing. Go watch a Malcolm X documentary. Go watch the Malcolm X movie. All right. First off, Denzel Washington played that shit so damn good. I saw him as Malcolm X until I was damn 16 years old. You feel me? But go watch those. Learn your lessons. Give a damn what all these other people talk about. Learn the lessons and study the previous generations. So therefore, we can take what they did and we can advance it, because that's what they wanted us to do. Go watch all of that. Go watch Maroon, our brother Tariq Nasheed put out. Go watch Hidden Colors. Go watch all of these things. Let's see the energy that we have from the past and know that we are playing our time, and there's going to be a time when we pass the baton to the next generation. You feel me? I was just telling my brother the other day, I said, when I get on stage in Washington, D.C., I'm going to bring that Black Alpha certified energy like only I can. But trust and believe, I'm not just talking to everybody in the crowd. I'm talking to them kids who aren't even born yet, because they're going to look back, all right, at that rally, at what we're doing now. They're going to look back in the year 2050, 2070 and say, what were they doing in 2024? What were they on? How do you know they're going to do that? Because we look back on Malcolm X. We look back on Martin Luther King. We look back on Huey Newton, on Bobby Seale, on all of the greats. So if we look back 60 years ago, someday somebody's going to be looking back 60 years on us. And what is the story going to be told? What are they going to say? Are they going to say they got real close, but they dropped the bag, they fumbled the bag? Or are they going to say, we got our reparations now, and it all started with that reparations generation in the 2010s, 2020s, going into the 2030s? It was them. It was that reparations rally on November 5th, 2022. It was that other reparations rally, Juneteenth celebration, on June 15th, 2024. They reclaimed Dr. Martin Luther King in that reparations generation. They took the term reparations and put it on the front stage. They reclaimed Juneteenth. They ran the tethers off the block. They ran the ops off the block. They ended scam Africanism. And most importantly, they brought down the Democratic plantation. They brought down the Republican plantation, and they replaced it with a foundational Black American compound. And we don't deal with neither one of them. Remember this, family. It's not about the things that the supremacists argue with each other about. Always be careful and watch the things that the supremacists agree on. And what do they agree? Is that they both agree. Trump, Biden. Blacks for Trump, blacks for Biden. They both agree that they want us on one of those two plantations. But we all agree that it ain't ever going to happen. Why ain't it going to happen? Because this is a new time, a new era, a new day, the reparations generation, and it's just getting started. And we on fire. Family, let me show you the great, great, great Malcolm X. We always talk about when Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said we coming to get our check. Well, let's talk about the great Malcolm X when he spoke about reparations. And when I say that they're going to look back on us 60 years from now, and they're going to say that was the generation that turned this thing around. That was the generation that took claim of being an American who built this country. That's the generation that brought truth to power. They're going to look back on us the same way we look back on people like Brother Malcolm. Listen, certified salute, Brother Malcolm, let it be known.
I would like to point this out, Mr. Russell. If you have 100 people who work for you for nothing for a week, you make a profit. If you have 1 million people who work for you for nothing for a year, you become wealthy. Well, then when you have millions of black people whom you can work for nothing for 310 years, you can easily see why America became the wealthiest and the most powerful country on earth faster than any country in history. But here you have 20 million black people today whose parents were worked for 310 years for nothing. What do they have coming for them? Not only did their parents work 310 years for nothing like an animal, but their parents also were the most faithful soldiers that the master had. What payment have they gotten? And today, they're not asking for much. They're not asking for what someone else would ask. Instead of asking for something that's real, they're asking their master to let them occupy one of the rooms in his house, or one of the rooms with him in his house. Now, this is still not asking for something. If America gave the black man here half of this country, they wouldn't be giving us anything. They worked our mothers and fathers for 310 years with no pay. The Senate, the Congress, and the U.S. Supreme Court found it necessary to appropriate funds to repay billions of dollars to the Indians for land that was taken from the Indians 300 or 400 years ago. And if this generation of whites will recognize a debt incurred by the former generations of whites to the former generations of Indians, then this same generation of whites also must recognize debts incurred by the former generations of white to your and my forefathers. And if their own courts decree that they should pay the Indian today for what was done to the former generations of Indians, don't you think that God is more just than the court system of America? And if the court system of America says that the Indians must be paid, what do you think God would say that America must do in payment to 20 million black people who worked here for nothing for 310 years?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. We here, family. We here. Trust me when I tell you that. Oh, we in the building. Oh, we in the building. That's what I'm talking about. When I say we got that strength, when I say we have that soul, when I say we got it all, we got it all. Think about what Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said. We're coming to get our check. Listen to what Brother Malcolm said. The same exact thing. Johnny Cochran, the same exact thing. We are standing on the shoulders of giants. The strongest lineage, heritage, and culture on the face of the earth. The strongest lineage, heritage, and culture in the known universe. I went there that far because we are. And I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true. This is where we are right now. We've been listening to Dr. Martin Luther King speak about reparations. Now we're dusting off Malcolm X talking about reparations. You put them both together, on code, stronger than ever. We building, we working, we shining, we grinding. I've been saying that for 3 years, and I'm going to keep on saying it. This is a new generation in a new era. Family, they're going to say it all. They're going to say foundational Black American forever. They're going to say B1 forever. They're going to say certified Black society forever. Trust me when I tell you they're going to say that. They're going to remember all of us. We all do a little, we all do a lot. We keep chipping in, y'all. We keep chipping in. None of these ops can stop us. And we know that everybody has a problem with us. We live by, we stand by the certified creed. And we all operate. There's a different look in brothers and sisters' eyes, y'all. When we walk into the store, look at the brother and sister who's on code. There's a different look. There's a gleam. All right? There's a gleam. There's a glare. It's a look of, we're not playing no games no more. You feel me? When you see the little young brothers and sisters out here, they got a different energy. They out here saying, man, this is our land. I'm seeing little young brothers and sisters saying it. This is where we are at. This is where we're standing. What are they going to do, y'all? What are they going to do other than bow the hell down and deal with it? It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful time to be alive. It's about to be the summer, y'all. The temperature is going to go all the way up to the max, and we're going to get hot right along with it. And we are going to change this world. If you ever want to be a part of changing the world, you got it now. You got it now. And we do this all the time right here in the Black grassroots. We All of us, all of you guys, Certified Black Sided, Black Alpha Network, we all a family. All of us, we all family. It doesn't matter. You guys are all my brothers and sisters, the kings and queens, the goddess and gods. We B1 cousins, FBA family tree. I don't give a damn this side of the fence, that side of the fence. We all one together. And when we stand together, we get things done. We get things done unlike ever before, y'all. Ever before. Look at this right here, man. This is what it is. This is what we on. This is what's changing the game, y'all. This is what's changing the absolute game. Certified salute to our big brother Tariq Nasheed. He came through so many times for us, family. It's time that we definitely come through. I want you guys to go and donate to the Foundational Black American Reparations Rally. Go donate to it, family. We all do a little, we all do a lot. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take this thing all the way down the street. We're going to take this thing all the way to the White House. And when it's all said and done, you guys, we will be the one standing on top. The GoFundMe I will put in the description of this video. It is also on my Twitter, and I want you guys to go check it out. I want you guys to donate what you have. It's like a family reunion. I said it yesterday, family. It's like a family reunion. When you go to the family reunion, everybody brings something different. You may be the one who got to bring the potato salad. Okay. You may be the one that's got to bring the hot dog and the hamburger buns. Okay. You may be the one who's got to bring the soda or pop. Depends on where you're from. Everybody say something different. It don't matter. You may be the one who got to bring the grill, the charcoal. It don't matter. But what does matter is that we are all going to get together as foundational Black Americans, as a family tree, as B1 brothers and sisters, certified creed, and we're going to have a great damn time. But we're going to handle business at the same damn time. And when we do this, we are going to change the world. Very, very rare can we point to a world-changing event happening on a particular day. But I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, y'all, June 15th is going to be a world-changing day. How do you know it's going to be a world-changing day? Because anytime you put a bunch of foundational Black Americans in the same damn place at the same damn time, particularly on Juneteenth weekend, particularly down the street from the White House, you put us all there at the same damn time. Oh, we changing the world. We changing the world. We've been changing the world now. So what happens when we all together? Man, it's a wrap, y'all. It is a wrap, and that's exactly what we're going to do, and we're going to do it together, and we're going to make sure, y'all, that it happens. It's been a hell of a year. I'm talking about you done had eclipses and everything. Remember, it was an eclipse that started off Nat Turner putting down the work that he put on. Things happen for a reason. Things happen for a reason, you guys. Yes, it does. Things happen for a reason. So now we know the reason here is for foundational Black Americans to move it to the next generation. All right? The kids are watching. They're all watching. And we're watching. And the world is watching. And we're going to put on the show. So if they are watching, they better enjoy it. So you guys go to our brother Tariq Nasheed's Twitter page. He has the GoFundMe up. I'm going to put it in the description of this video. I'm also going to put it on my Twitter and Instagram. So if you follow me, please make sure you do it. But absolutely, it is going to be historical. There's no other way to say it. We are going to put it down. I can't wait to see all of you guys. I promise you, I will be there. Yes. And I'm not just going to be on stage, y'all. I'm going to be out there in the crowd with y'all. I'm going to be in town. Y'all know Black Alpha. I'm as real as it get. All right. And I'm a little crazy too, but it's all good because I'm from Georgia and Ohio. All right. FBA. And I'm there to see the whole family. Okay. I'm there to see the whole family. I'm there to see every single one of you guys. I cannot wait for the situation. I cannot wait for the moment, but please make sure that you donate to this, support it in any means you can, because it is going to be something that is remembered forever and the world is watching. And this is what it's all about. So when you put all of us, like I said, family, you put all of us there at the same damn time. Oh my gosh, this is going to be pivotal and monumental to the movement. It's something that we will never forget, and we're going to have a good time while we do it. One thing I'm always telling people is that certified foundational Black American freedmen energy, it's a great thing. It's a great time, but we also have to enjoy doing it. We have to enjoy doing it. It's not just us being there. It's also us enjoying the moments and enjoying each other's company. You feel me? And that's what it is. You guys remember a couple of weeks ago, I showed you the message that I received from a lady, and she told me that she's in bad health. That's what she told me. She said she's in very bad health, and she said she's trying to stay alive to get to the reparations rally and perhaps meet me. And I told her, I said, you will be in good health. You will make it there, and I will see you, and I will give you the biggest foundational Black American hug ever. And as sure as I am that she will be in good health and I'll see her, it's as sure as I am that we will get our reparations. We will get our tangibles, and we will continue to G-check and regulate and stand on business. When I told y'all that the kids were watching, family, I appreciate you too, family. I appreciate you too. I love y'all, man. I love y'all with a passion. Remember, fam, we say the kids are watching. Listen to these young brothers right here. These beautiful young foundational Black Americans. These ain't Pan-Africans. These ain't Republicans. These ain't Democrats. These ain't NIGGAs for Trump. This ain't none of that. These are foundational Black Americans. When we say they're watching and they're listening, you guys, remember what we grew up listening to. We grew up listening to All Lives Matter. Can we all get along? Supremacy went away. You want to see our effect? You want to see how we're affecting the planet Earth? You want to see how we're changing our lineage? You want to see why I tell you they'll listen to us 60 years from now and talk about how the reparations generation, all of us, change this community for the better forever? I want you to hear our influence in the youth. You didn't hear this 10 years ago during the Yes We Can era, but you hear it now. Listen to these young brothers.
Hey, bro, we not from Africa. Right here. We from right here.
You from America? Who land is this? It's y'all land? Tell them it's y'all land. Who they stole it from? Oh. Yeah. Yeah, talk y'all shit.
But look, I just want y'all to know, have a good day, and I'm a good kid. Stay positive, meditate.
Ooh, he's focused. He's focused, yeah.
Look at that right there. Listen to them young brothers. Stay positive, meditate, focus. We not African. This is our land. We Americans. We from America. We love America. This is our land. Don't let nobody try to get you to submit that. Give that away. Shame you. We ain't running from no plantation. Nah, we built the whole damn country. What's a plantation to a whole country that we built? Checkmate all day. And the youth is listening. That ain't no Yes We Can. That ain't no vote blue no matter who. That ain't no NIGGAs for Trump. No. That is us putting an influence on these young brothers and sisters the way we're supposed to do it. And look at that sun shining. I always tell everybody that FBA flag is waving high in that FBA sky. And remember, every time you see that sun shining, y'all, it's shining down on us. You know why they call it a reparations movement? Because it doesn't move without FBA, y'all. It does not move without FBA. So with that said, man, it's been a hell of an episode. I appreciate breaking it down with you guys, putting facts on the table. We know for sure what it is. Now we just going out here and we living our best lives. And our best lives, family, is being the strongest lineage, heritage, and culture, certified Black society, foundational Black American, and we in the building, we in the place. But one tonight, y'all, let us be one in the future. Power to all of the people. Make sure you smash that like button. See you back right here next week, man. Certified salute. Black is beautiful, and beautiful is always Black. Peace and love. One love.